And we're live. Happy?
Yeah, we're live. Is Alex here, or is he just gonna be?
I don't know. Alex? Chat message.
Alex,
Say something. Something. Say something. Shut the fuck up. If you want to sing something, like some kind of boy band or like sad music, just say ooh. What you say? What's that song called?
Isn't it like I don't know? It's like by like a Million Heap, I think.
Yeah, that's the most dramatic music you can find.
Finally.
There's Mr. Alex Soup.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today we have Mr. Aaron, Mr. Julian, and Mr. Alex.
What are you, a Mexican maid or something? Like Mr. Alex, Mr. Julian.
Mississippi Man of Heat.
No, and
Julian's a maid.
okay.
He's a maid up.
Slightly racist, but okay.
No, I'm kidding. My mom says that too, so.
So, what do we have to talk about today?
Nothing. Well,
Nothing.
it's October,
Mm-hmm.
and the the Centric podcast is titled the Spooktober edition.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Today's, or like
Just in general. It's gonna be Halloween edition when we
Just
get to
through-
Halloween.
just through October. It's Spooktober.
Spooktober.
That's pretty cool.
You gotta love Spooktober. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alex, how have you been? You've been dead for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've
How was your revival?
doing classes. It's pretty shit. It's about all there is to say about it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could talk about it for hours, but it's not very interesting unless you enjoy like synthesizing iron oxalate or some shit.
Yes, I'm sure people listening now would love to hear about it.
What people listening now?
exactly.
I mean, like it, later if they're listening.
Like 10 years from now, when someone comes to listen to it, it's like, I never knew that. I wanted to know that.
Damn, I'm gonna
They
switch
wanna
to
the people want to be educated, Alex.
Yeah, No Child Left Behind, right?
Exactly. Because that did so well, didn't it?
Did that ever get repealed, or is that still?
I'm sorry. I'll be honest. Like there were some like people that should not have stayed in our high school.
Yeah.
It's like that they obviously were not. I feel like this might look like a one directed approach towards it, and it might be a little
It's
that are socialist or whatever. But like if you can't succeed in high school,
yeah.
high school,
it's a very well-intentioned idea that's trying to solve a real problem, but it's trying to solve the problem the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you could probably help people that need that help by educating them more, or just
What they
keeping
need,
them
what they
in
need
an
to do,
environment where they don't get distracted.
what they need to do is provide actual proper incentives to doing well, because as it is, there's no reason to actually try to apply yourself.
Yeah, and people are just like, I know a lot of people are just giving up on college, like totally, because they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna get a job from just going to college. And like I took a break from college, but I'm still going. Now I'm going.
I mean, higher education is essentially a scam, but unfortunately, it's a scam that's tied to like being over 20 years old. You sort of have to be a part of it.
Yeah. Oh,
No, you don't literally have to, but
yeah.
pretty much a requirement. Well,
Is Mr. Pete here?
Yep.
oh,
Hello.
hey Joe.
how was-
Oh wow, that is a new icon right there.
Yes.
Looking pretty smooth today.
Mother of P.
I have to say I'm fully erect right now.
Oh my.
No.
That's right, Joe. That's right, Joe. All 2.5 inches of my penis are for you.
Oh yes. That means something. He's Russian, so that means something.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
icon
they're
is
actually
also a
they're
reaction
actually
to
they're,
that.
they're actually metric inches.
It's like being attacked by a roll of certs or lifesavers.
So I thought you weren't really going to join us today.
I wasn't, but apparently, luck would have it. I was going to go help my grandmother with some technical issues, and when I
But we're
called
more
her
important.
to see if she was still there and to see if she got everything was still screwed up, I called her and she's like, "Oh, it magically fixed itself." It's like, okay,
Did you turn it off and on again?
I wouldn't be
Press the
surprised,
on button?
honestly.
Who has seen the show The IT Crowd?
I've
I
seen some of
tried
it.
it, didn't like it.
I love that show. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
Why?
Huh?
Why is just like IT people?
It's just a funny show.
I've heard of it. I've
It's
seen
like
some
it's
stuff
about
on it.
two guys who are working in like the
Yeah.
IT department at like a big building, and
like,
there's also this lady who's
yeah.
their manager.
I feel like being like an IT person kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah, they kind of
It does.
Yeah. And
The-
I remember when I was working at GameStop, we had to do some IT for people.
Oh god.
Sometimes, like if people didn't know how to set consoles and stuff. So I don't know if I told you this, but these two Israeli women came in.
Oh
One
my.
day to the store during, and this like they came into the store. And they started asking questions, and they were very baffled. So I started speaking Hebrew to them because I realized they were talking Hebrew to each other, and they were very confused. Also, the Xbox One just came out.
hmm
And we were
Hmm.
trying to push sales for that. And they were like, "Oh, should we get the Xbox 360 Slim or the One?" And the point is, they ended up getting the Slim, and they got a bunch of like DLC for it, like games like Halo and other stuff. And they went home. About 2 weeks later, like towards the end of the holiday season, I get a call from a random guy, and he's like, "Hey, so a few weeks ago you sold to my friend," and it's a heavy Hebrew accent.
You
You
have sold to my
friend,
friend, the Hazid.
the Xbox 360, and they can't launch the games, and you have to. So basically, I had to explain to someone from a and he's in New York or something. I'm not really sure where he was, but I had to explain to him like what was going on
hmm
and how to do it, and it took me like 35 to almost like 40 minutes or so.
Oh,
Just to
Jesus
explain how to get like the
Christ.
system going, just like turning it on and setting it up. And it took me another like an hour to like get him to actually download the games and
My
stuff.
god, an hour?
Because I had
The
to
fuck
sit
was
with
he
them to set
doing?
up the Xbox Live account.
That's relatively mild, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably people that had a harder time, but they're like, but do we have to set up an account and link our credit card? And it's like, yes, you do.
Yes. No shit.
And then
you're
what turned
paying-
out was that a few months later, I guess his relative drove me to my prom. The guy that called me, his relative, was a taxi driver, and my parents knew them. I don't know. There's a weird thing with like Israelis, like
Jews.
everybody knows everybody. Like
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
related to everybody.
Yeah,
No, not
and
Jews, Israelis.
Oh.
Like you don't have to be Jewish
And-
to be Israeli.
and every Italian knows every other Italian.
I don't know about that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
there you go.
Oh, Joe, you're Italian?
Irish
I'm sorry.
Italian, so it's far
Oh.
worse than you could
Oh my
possibly.
god,
You have a drunk mustache.
I'm really sorry, Joe.
You have like a big, like, fat drunk mustache.
There's a reason why I'm obsessed with potatoes.
Welcome to Racist Cast, everybody.
Yes.
This is
Best cast.
It's like,
best cast.
it's like we talk about the N word 24 hours a day.
Yeah, neighbor. I hate that word.
Neighbor. I love neighbors. Freaking hate them. Did I just say I
Did
love
you guys see the
neighbors?
movie Neighbors?
No, I actually didn't. I heard it was pretty funny.
Neighbor. Oh
Really?
yeah, I did.
I-
Like the one with Seth
The
Rogen.
one with Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I didn't see it
Yeah.
because I have to live it every day.
Oh god. How's
It's
Pike
close.
doing, by the way, Alex?
How's
I heard
what?
they have some controversy going on
Where?
about Pike.
Oh, Pike.
Like-
Pike always has controversy going on.
Yeah, let's not talk about college stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Has anyone seen any good movies recently?
No.
Within the week?
Sorry, go ahead.
You haven't.
I've
No,
seen a few.
I want to see Fury when it comes out on Friday. It actually looks decent.
Oh, dude, let's go. I want to see it.
then I want to see it with you, you goddamn terrible people. But yeah, let's do that.
Wait, what? What are you looking at? What are you saying?
Yeah, you said then we should go see it. He's over in UCLA.
Yeah, I can drive over there. We drove there when we went to see Angry Video Game.
Well, that's because it was like a special thing. It's not like Fury where it's in
Well,
like every theater.
He's my friend. I'll still drive over to him. Plus, I promised you. You want to go see it?
He's not really.
Yeah, let's go do that. Let's make the plans after that.
Right. Yeah. So Fury review on Saturday.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then we'll give a detailed review of Fury. It's actually gonna be like 2 paragraphs.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's gonna be interesting to see Shia LaBeouf is a biblical. Like I think he's a.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf's in that
Bible.
movie. Now we have to see it.
Yeah,
gonna be
he's like a Bible, like
chaplain.
Southern.
His performance is probably gonna rip off someone else's performance.
It's gonna be either really good or really bad, and you know.
Okay, so Scott.
Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim. God damn it. Who directed Gran Torino?
Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood. Scott Eastwood. Sorry, I forgot Eastwood for some reason. So Scott Eastwood, his son, is in this. In Fury, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like a major or something.
Isn't the Bear Jew also in this movie?
Yeah, the bear.
Eli Roth?
I think,
Yes.
yeah. I'm pretty sure he is.
Are you sure? I haven't seen anything about that.
Have you seen trailers for it yet?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of trailers.
I think he's in it.
I
And,
don't
no, I'm pretty sure he is. Or he dies, I'm not sure.
The movie hasn't even come
No,
out
I'm
yet.
saying
and
or he
already-
dies in it, I'm not sure.
No, he's not in it.
Oh, he's not?
It's on IMDb. You're probably thinking of someone else who looks like Eli Roth.
Probably.
Yeah, all Jews look the same.
Well, Brad Pitt's in it, so that's pretty fun. It's gonna be interesting because I was having a conversation with a friend about it, and basically
You have
like
friends?
after I don't have friends. I'm sorry, that was a lie. But no, I was talking to a friend about it, and like in Inglourious Basterds, he does a really good like old timey performance.
Eli Roth?
No, Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah.
Like he does a really good job at like.
Dude,
old
he's
talking
hilarious
stuff.
in that movie.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Okay. She was looking at his computer and has weird
That
stuff
was
on
weird
it.
shit on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck?
I don't know. I'm gonna look at this. But whatever.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Brad Pitt is usually pretty good. I think people dismiss him a lot just because he's like.
He's typecast, right?
I don't think he's typecast at all. I think he has a lot of diversity
right.
in his roles.
His face though, it does kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like some of the roles that he does like are similar to others, of course. But like if you look at his whole filmography, he has really different just
roles.
acting.
Yeah. Fight Club.
Like
is one
Fight
of the
Club
ones.
7.
Yeah.
I love him in Burn After Reading. If you haven't seen Burn After Reading, go see Burn After Reading. It's by the Coen brothers, and I think it's like one of their most underrated comedies.
Isn't he the
hilarious
guy that tries to rip off the other guy?
No, he's like the guy with the bike.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
I
about?
think yeah. Where he's like, he doesn't
Oh
have
yeah,
that
yeah. Brad Pitt is hilarious in that movie, and it's so like
Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds.
I think I think what I meant to say was that.
Hmm?
I think what I meant to say was that because Brad Pitt is always like hyped up to be like the guy who looks like an action hero, people often dismiss him, which I think is what Julian was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that kind of.
I think
or like people think he's just like the good-looking face.
But
Yeah, he's a surprisingly good actor, just on his own right.
Also,
has that
12 Monkeys is another good role of Brad Pitt's.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but I wasn't paying attention to it.
nominated he was nominated for an Oscar for that, I think.
Really?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was nominated for an Oscar for supporting actor in that.
you know who should have been nominated for an Oscar and won it?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Or Leo.
She should win all the Oscars.
He's really good in roles he does. Like Aviator, he's really good.
He gives it a lot, which is interesting.
I thought his performance in Django was both really funny, but also really like He had like a really good villain role in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And it's like
that managed to be funny.
he's
and
very
intimidating.
dedicated to like his acts. Even even though it was a bad movie, in
Inception.
not Inception.
I like Inception.
Yeah, why don't you like Inception,
the
man?
book, the one based on the book,
The one based on the book.
the one based on the book. No,
Oh,
recent.
Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby.
That's a horrible movie.
It's a horrible movie, but his performance is fucking
Well,
amazing in it.
Yeah, well, how are you gonna
No,
make?
it's pretty good. It's actually like he's 1-for-1 what people would imagine Gatsby to be, which is
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
But the rest of the movie has some kind of like
Because it's
Stuff
directed
in
by
it.
Baz Luhrmann, and he's just a shitty director. Like I don't think I've seen any movies of his that I
and it
like.
has not Lil Wayne, but
I forgot Jay-Z.
Jay-Z I think in it for some reason.
Oh, in the movie itself, or
in
you
like
mean
in the
soundtrack?
music soundtrack.
Yeah, it has like rap sound, and it's like it takes place in the 1920s when it's like the like the golden age of like
Jazz.
just
Jazz.
Yeah,
it's
jazz and-
literally the jazz age. Like that's what
Yeah,
the chapter
yeah,
is called in
exactly,
the history
jazz
book
age.
about it.
I mean,
I forgot that name, so I was
Anyway.
thinking of it.
we did get to see the car. Did I show you that? We saw the car from
Oh, yeah.
Great Gatsby.
But also one other movie he's really good in last year was Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
He was
Still
fantastic.
have-
Oh, and the Aviator.
It's like it's a 3-hour long movie, but it keeps you really entertained the whole way.
Yeah. It
One
actually,
thing-
it actually felt much shorter.
Yeah,
But I think it's because a lot of things are happening really fast. So.
yeah.
One
But,
thing I'd like to say about The Great Gatsby before we move on is that in Leo's defense, the book is complete shit. So to make a good movie out of a shit book is really not that easy.
It's not really a story that like. I mean, maybe back then maybe it would have like got you interested, but
I don't
like these
love the
days I
story
don't
too
really.
much at all.
Yeah, I don't get really interested in it.
But
You know what was a
another
great
thing.
commercial?
What?
What?
World War Z was a great Pepsi commercial.
I didn't see World War Z yet. Actually.
Yeah.
I'm like one of the few
Yeah.
people. That,
And a Turkish Airways or something, right? Like the planes.
now I feel like I have to see this movie.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like
I
didn't even realize the first time I watched it, but after I watched the second time, I was like, "That's a lot of product placement."
I enjoyed World War Z for what it was, which was
No
sort of
spoilers,
a
please, I wanna see
mediocre
it.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
the way they ended is kind of eh.
Also,
I think
another great commercial was the most recent Transformer commercial. That was a Budweiser commercial.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
As I was
Yeah.
saying, I enjoyed World War Z for what it was. You know, I mean, like it's a very predictable action movie with really no connection to the book at all.
Yeah, if you-
other than
If you like hear about the
the
book,
basic premise of zombies.
Yeah, the book is actually
the book actually has like a lot of themes
it's like
of
different.
like
It's different perspectives of the same event.
yeah, it has like a lot of themes of like how like politics would be like
Mhm.
the like just all these different like actual
And they play at it a little. Like they talk about the whole like Israel. Like,
Yeah.
Knew about this
It-
stuff. It's like it's interesting.
I
They
just didn't
reference
like
the
the-
book, but they
Yeah,
don't do
they
anything
reference
else.
a bunch of like political events that are going on.
I just
but-
didn't
yeah.
like the idea of tidal wave zombies. that looked
Yeah.
so shitty in the trailer.
Yeah.
One thing I want
one
to say.
thing. Oh, who wants to go first?
I'll
Well, I
go.
wanted to talk about Aviator.
Something I just want to say about World War Z, the intellectual property, is that the book is actually the book reads like you're watching a documentary, which makes it supremely entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you don't read books, like I don't really read books anymore, but even if you don't read books, try giving World War Z a read just to experience it, because it's it's what The Walking Dead tried to be. It's what The Walking Dead would have been if they hadn't fired Frank Darabont, I think.
So the weird
Oh.
thing about The Walking Dead.
Well, wait. I have just since we're on the topic of World War Z. Did anyone know that it's written by Mel Brooks' son?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's written by Max.
What's his name? Max Brooks, yeah.
Mel Brooks. Do you know?
Yeah, I know Mel Brooks is
Okay, yeah.
like Max Brooks. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's his son writing the book. And
Cool.
I've seen interviews with Max Brooks also, and he's very funny. But
I
anyway,
always
I just
find
wanted to-
I always find really interesting what like the children of famous people do, because it's usually nothing, but once in a while they actually distinguish themselves.
Hey, Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden, come over here. Come distinguish yourself. All over the movie.
Jaden can't distinguish himself. His dad's always there with him.
What is it? Willa?
Yeah.
What's his sister's name?
I don't know.
Willow.
Apparently, like Will Smith's older son from his first marriage, I think.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he's like,
he
apparently a
like
really
his
good
own dad.
stage actor or something. But like they don't talk about him at all.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't mention him.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did any of you guys see The Aviator?
No,
I
to be honest, I've never even heard of it. Can you fill me in?
It's a movie about Howard Hughes. Played
Who
by
is that?
it's Howard Hughes is the guy that basically blew up development of aircraft in 1930s.
Oh, okay.
30s.
Okay.
But he made that.
Alright.
Shit.
Well, he tried making.
Yeah, it was a
like,
very big
movies.
like billionaire philanthropist. He's like basically Tony Stark in the 1920s.
Yeah. Although he had a
Um,
lot of like medical and mental problems
Yeah.
later in his life.
Just like Tony
but
Stark.
he had a lot of good like dreams where it came like to like aircraft and a
He
lot of
was
like
insane, but he had good
different-
dreams.
no, I had a lot of like good ideas when it came to aircraft. When it came to
Yeah,
a
he
lot
was
of-
very like ambitious kind of person.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Aviator is just like a biography of him.
yeah,
And Leonardo DiCaprio plays Howard Hughes.
yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah. I
Like
told you it was really nice.
Yeah.
It also talks a lot about like how
I thought like it was a little slow in the beginning, but like once it keeps like building up.
Yeah.
more and more.
Oh,
talks about a lot about like the war contracts back in during the war, how like a lot of planes, like a lot not of planes, but a lot of companies like got money to make these like weapons, but never actually produced on them and stuff like that. I mean, that's interesting. And then I was gonna say that about The Walking Dead
Okay.
is the comic. If you did you read the graphic novel, any of them?
No, I haven't.
Right.
I heard it's way
really.
better.
So I got some from Humble Bundle.
Oh, I think I did too. I just haven't read them.
Yeah, and they're actually really good because they're very personalized. They're very like personal,
Yeah.
like very it's close
Uh,
story. It's
uh,
interesting.
Speaking of which,
And-
Walking Dead season 5 premieres today. It's gonna be complete shit. It's such a train wreck. It literally starts in a train.
Dale
But
Dixon.
but I have full faith that it'll be entertaining. Because that's what
Okay,
they
so
do.
the thing about the show, that's what I was gonna say. The thing about the show and War Z is that both of them are trying to be way too big. Way too big. Because if you think about
What do you-
War Z like travels like
I
like across the world.
I think the main. I mean, I haven't seen World War Z, but I can say about The Walking Dead, it's just that the characters are bland
that
as
too.
fuck and not interesting.
Yeah, they're not.
Like wait,
And
wait.
that's like the most important thing in
yes.
really any kind of story is characters, because that's the human connection to
One thing-
the movie.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, the reason World War Z was too big was that for once it decided to actually follow the book. You see, in the book you do a lot of hopping around the world because you talk to different people, but it's impossible to make, or it's very difficult, I guess, to make a movie that has mass appeal where you don't have a main character played
Yeah,
by
he like
Brad
goes
Pitt
to, from the U.S. to Korea,
Yeah. to Israel.
Israel to like Europe.
But
Like
okay,
all
but
the
the
span
thing
of,
about
like a few
the
days.
thing about The Walking Dead having bland characters is that they're honestly like fucking X-Men without superpowers, like the Justice League. I was watching season 4 last week because it came out on Netflix, and there was a scene where a kid with a cowboy hat had an assault rifle shooting zombies. There was a fucking Green Arrow wannabe, and there was also a samurai. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of Justice League ripoff is this? But
Okay.
you know,
Okay, so after watching
Go on.
the first season and the second season of The Walking Dead, like
Mhm.
I wanted that kid. I wanted that kid dead.
I did too. I just
But-
don't like any of the characters except for Daryl and
Everybody loves
and
Daryl.
Michael Rooker.
yes.
The two Dixon brothers.
Yeah.
Those are like the show just needs to be about them.
And that's what they made
The
the
Walking
game.
Dixon.
That's what they made a game about, but the game was horribly made.
Oh yeah.
Except the visual novel,
Um,
the point-and-click adventure one was
Yeah, but
really
it
good.
doesn't follow the Dixon brothers.
Yeah.
It follows a completely different.
Follows Lee. But what's funny is that in The Walking Dead the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play it?
I still haven't played it yet.
Okay, there's a
I
kid
still need to.
in there,
Yeah.
and by the end, I wanted to kill him. And I won't tell you if to give you the option or not, but when you play it, you'll see like if you want.
Did they do that for the Jurassic Park game?
I don't
Because
know.
I never liked those kids in the movie.
Just kill him. Kill Marty. Kill everybody's
kids.
Kill Doc. Nothing happens. Yeah.
What else? One zombie movie I really liked from last year was Warm Bodies.
Yeah.
I was really surprised at how entertaining and like well made it was.
I remember seeing a trailer for it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so stupid.
Yeah, right.
And
Like,
I watched it
looks
on
so
TV,
shitty.
and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting and like pretty heartfelt.
Yeah, it's like actually really well made and like you like the characters. Like, there's the only thing I would say is that for a zombie fan, like if you're looking for gore, there's like no gore in it. It's PG-13.
Yeah, if you're looking for gore, go to fucking 4chan. Don't watch a zombie movie.
Go watch Never mind. I won't even.
Brain Dead.
No.
Oh. What?
I won't even say it because you hate that movie so much.
Serbian film.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Don't watch the though.
Serbian film is a fucking masterpiece. But only if you've been on 4chan for at least 4 years.
Like you.
No, it's.
Alex was
Yes.
born from 4chan. Like his mom is 4chan.
No, one of our
This
mutual
bad
friends in
time
real life. One of our mutual friends in real life has no like father figure because he has 2 moms. So he was quite literally raised by 4chan.
Wow. That's interesting.
I don't go on 4chan, so let's stop talking
Go
about
4chan. You should go on 4chan.
No, how about no?
You'll come out like 4 days later and be like, best session ever. And your hand is like, oh.
Yeah, just a huge red wrist covered in blood and shit. That's about right. Anyway, let's move on from talking about fucking 4chan.
Yeah, I know. Well, you guys are the ones who are talking about 4chan.
It's so bad.
You had the power to stop it. Do you guys watch Arrow?
No,
I've heard
my
it's
friend
actually
does.
there's like good scenes in it. Probably.
So the second season came out on Netflix, and I've been watching that. And you know what? Honestly, it's fucking awesome. Like there's things
Isn't
that are wrong.
Deathstroke in it?
Yeah,
Blade or whatever
there's
his name
yeah, there's things that are wrong with Arrow, but
It's a
the
TV
moment.
show.
Yeah, like, it's a TV show about a fucking guy who is not Batman, and I'm like, there's like the things that are wrong with it are pretty much tied to the premise itself, and I don't feel like that's a legitimate criticism to just say, well, it's not realistic or it's stupid that this guy is a superhero
But-
and the show is about a superhero and that's the point.
Yeah.
Has
Anyway.
anyone watched Gotham?
Yes,
No.
I am.
I
actually
wanted
up to date.
to, but then I was like, eh.
Is
Gotham-
it any good?
Okay, so this is the thing. It has immense potential. I have yet to see if they will write themselves into a corner and make it go to shit. They didn't with Arrow, at least from the season and a half that I've seen. So I have some faith in them. I'm just gonna say, so far, it's shaping. If they don't mess up the main story, don't mess up the characters. So far, it's shaping up to be a very, very good show. At least I think so.
I don't know. I just
I'm
feel
also
like
a bit of a
nobody
DC
wants
fan,
to.
so.
Yeah, we've noticed. Marvel. It's like, no, I don't know. I'll probably watch it once I hear like more. Once it's probably
Maybe, like,
close
once
to finish.
Yeah, maybe like once it's in season 2 or 3 at least.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
do it.
it's
I started
it's
watching
not
Breaking
that-
Bad when it was almost over.
I'm not that huge of a
DC fan.
Batman fan anyway, and DC in general.
yeah, and
We're Marvel fanboys.
I'm not a
Yeah,
Marvel
the-
fan. but I
This
just
room is
think-
Marvel fanboys. Damn it! Get out.
Well, I like
Okay.
Batman stories. I like the gothic and dark.
Yeah.
A lot, but Marvel has more diverse characters and more.
Like
Just
I think I told you this.
they're a bit
before.
more leaning towards just pleasing the
Yeah.
crowd.
I think I talked
Yeah,
about this before, but like a lot of the characters.
Marvel is more into. Sorry, I just want to say real quick. Marvel is more entertaining, I think, but DC is a little bit more just cool. I guess I don't really know how to put
Like
it.
they try to
Um,
make things more edgy and dark.
yeah, and sometimes they overshoot, and sometimes they do it just right. It's sort of hit or
Yeah.
miss. One thing I want to say though is if you're not really a fan of like the side shit from DC the universe, like the lesser known, like the characters that you'll see as like part of the extras in the Arkham games or something. If you're not a fan of that, then Gotham and Arrow might be hard to get into.
Yeah,
Still, I
that's what I
think
feel
they
too.
both do. Yeah, I still think that both Arrow and Gotham so far do a pretty good job of, introducing you to these things in due time.
So,
Oh, and
my,
Flash too. Flash is premiering. Jesus
oh yeah,
Christ.
Flash. I heard Flash is actually pretty good so far.
Yeah, I actually got to the episode in Arrow where the Flash character Barry Allen's introduced.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check out Flash soon too.
Cool.
Uh,
My thing with DC, and Julian, I've talked to Julian about this before. It's like, for me, DC versus Marvel, I feel like DC is a little more stretched out. Like, the ideas of their characters they don't feel like their struggles are too realistic. And it's like, it's mainly Superman that I have an issue with.
oh yeah, fuck Superman.
And it's how they
Superman's a
portray
boring
him
fucking
sometimes,
superhero.
especially in Man of Steel, where
Well, Man of
it's
Steel is
like
just plain
this man
shit.
is basically God, and he pretty much, his problems are not really that big.
Yeah,
Like,
like
he
it's
discovers, yeah, all his
yeah.
people are dead. Oh yeah, Alex, sorry, I just want to finish this. Stop.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Um, he discovers all his people was dead and all that, but since he's God basically, and
Yeah,
what
you
happens
can't-
later on, future Superman is basically fucking God, and he can do anything he wants.
You can't relate to him.
You can't relate to him. You lose that relatability,
Exactly,
and there's other characters in the universe
That's
where
why.
you can't relate to him. But in Marvel, what they do well, and just let me finish. In Marvel, what they do well is they always give these characters a human flaw, like something that keeps them kind of human.
Mhm.
And Tony Stark's character,
Yeah,
and it was written really well. He's injured. He needs the suit as an extension of him. He needs it to live.
Mhm.
I feel they've sort of
American
dropped that the more
in
recent
this country.
properties, though.
What's his name? Thor. He's his guardian. All that. It's like, I feel like these characters are way more relatable and way more well written because they were written with flaws to begin with, instead of Superman, who
Yeah.
was just written to be like, oh look, this is cool.
Yeah,
Well,
but I will definitely defend the first two Superman movies, like the original,
Yeah, the original.
because those movies, like,
They were hard.
they still actually make him relatable, but he's mostly just like, he's charming and you want to see like the character.
Plus Zod. Zod is pretty
Well,
cool.
So that's pretty cool. I
uh,
really
one
like the
thi-
first two Superman movies.
One thing I want to just bring up in a short defense of Superman was that he is the first one. He's the first superhero.
Yeah.
That doesn't excuse his flaws, but it
There were
sort of
superheroes before, but
Well,
they
he was
weren't
like really the first one.
the first
to
one
make-
too.
Yeah.
When you think superhero,
I mean-
you think Superman.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
the
Well, actually,
iconic
I think Wolverine,
super-
but
Well, like he's like when you think of like not
Well, that's
necessarily
another
a
interesting
generic
thing. Wolverine is
superhero.
also another good character because he's not exactly a superhero. He's like kind of an anti-hero sometimes.
Yeah,
or
and-
Spider-Man or Marvel has really good.
I don't know. I'm
characters.
sorry. Marvel, I just feel like even though DC has these characters, Marvel just has more characters that are written well.
the general consensus I've always went by, my own little consensus, is that Marvel has better comics and DC has better like animated series and games, and I think that's true.
DC's animated series are
Yeah.
definitely really good. Like
yeah,
uh,
Batman, the
Jail
animated series.
You, Batman Begins, Superman.
Batman
The animated
Beyond.
series. No, sorry, Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond was really good.
Yeah, and of course
I
Batman.
enjoy that so much.
The animated series.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
I
guys
think
wanna move
I
on
just
to
think
Marvel has
to-
better movies.
Yeah.
I think like that.
No,
yeah.
I don't know why.
The
I
weird
don't
thing
love
about-
the Dark Knight or
Yeah, the weird thing about DC is because one of the main character that has the most problems they can write off on is Batman.
Well, yeah,
And that's why
he's
you make good movies about him, because the only characters you can explore his problems because he's more human.
yeah, but I don't know, something about the style of the way the Dark Knight movies were done just didn't appeal to me. But I
Really?
still like the stories and characters. But like the heavy realism
I
and
think
like
Joe was going to say something.
the things like they did
Oh,
with like
yeah.
his suit and Tumblr.
Who here has played Alien Isolation?
Oh, everyone.
Me.
Let's talk about that. I have heard nothing about this game. No one seems to have bought it except for Aaron and Joe.
Really?
I, on the other hand,
I've
have
heard really good things about it.
Yeah.
they all seem to
What'd you
love
say, Joe?
it. Everyone
Yeah,
I've talked
it
to-
seems like everyone really likes
Yeah.
it.
Let me just put up the volume a little bit.
The main complaint I've heard from both reviewer sites and just people is that it's dragged out. Do you guys agree with that at all?
Okay,
Have you finished it, Aaron?
I got him really far. I haven't finished it though. Alright, so let me explain this to you. Alien Isolation is actually like the review sites. I think are way
Yeah,
too
I,
much.
I I don't really trust them.
being stupid about it. It's really fun, and it really gets your blood. It really gets the blood going, and it's really enjoyable. Like
Makes you hard.
like there's a lot. Okay, so the whole thing about and it's pretty hard actually.
No, never mind.
Gets you hard on. Yeah. Gets me hard
The
on.
Centric keeps the blood flowing.
Oh, gets me hard on. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, playing the game makes me rock hard.
Anyway,
Amanda Ripley.
And it's not even Artificial Academy V2. Go on.
so you play
All right, so you play Amanda Ripley. She's
Who
looking
is
for a mom.
Ellen Ripley's daughter.
Yeah.
I almost said
Yeah,
son.
she's
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver's
She's a
daughter.
mechanic. She's kind of a mechanic, I guess. But well, they start off showing her doing like mechanic stuff. So it kind of feels like they took from Dead Space
Yeah.
because Isaac is a
Mhm.
mechanic. He's a technician, and like he finds a way to like make these things into weapons and stuff.
Right.
And
You know,
so
I-
she
I
knows
still
she
haven't
has
played
technical
this.
know-how, and that's pretty interesting. But you start off, and they do a really good job of building the atmosphere up till you have encounters with the alien. And I feel like what a lot of the reviewers are like feel about it is like the encounter, like between the encounters, there's spaces, but really those spaces are just as long as you let them be. Like if you want to explore everything and make sure you found everything, it's like those spaces will be longer. If you're just going through it,
If you just like want to keep constant,
motion, yeah. If you're
Yeah.
constantly going forward,
do that.
you'll get to the alien again. But I don't feel like even those sections between the encounters, they're not necessarily bad. They're not like filler. They're building up suspense to the next encounter. And honestly, like when I started the game, I thought like, oh, I'm gonna get the alien right away. But I had some other stuff I encountered first. I encountered like a bunch of other people. I encountered people. I encountered other stuff, and then I encountered the alien, way later on than I expected. And by then, I was actually really ready to get spooked by it. And the reveal for the alien is actually really fucking creepy,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And then you have to navigate around something that actually has an AI, so it's not it's not a path or anything. You actually have to figure out how to get around it while it's constantly moving, and it's really interesting. Like you gotta hide around, you gotta figure out like what I found myself doing is after I died like on a certain area, and I was able to come back to it. I was like, okay, maybe I should learn these areas. I should learn my areas more.
Uh-huh.
And I kept an eye out. I kept more of an eye when I was walking around. I kept more of an eye, like, oh, I can hide there if there's a problem, or I can you keep more of an observant view of what's going on. And then the alien comes, and then you have you shit your pants.
So there's only one.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like there's only one.
Because
but
I mean, it's called Alien, not Alien.
Yeah. I feel like I think there's only one, but I think I
No,
don't
no,
think
that's
it's
like actually. Have you seen the movies, Alex?
I know what you're referring to, but just how straightforward that reasoning is, it's just so funny to me.
Yeah,
Aliens, because there's more than one.
Well,
Alien
that's why-
cubed,
honestly,
because
I don't think they ever say there's more than
When
one.
they do have multiple aliens, they usually call it aliens.
Yeah.
But also,
But no,
like,
it makes sense because then all of them would swarm at you.
yeah, but also kind of, I feel like that distinction between Alien and Aliens is also like how the first one, like Alien is like more horror, and then like Aliens is more like action.
action.
So, but
That makes sense.
what's
Yeah.
interesting is there's definitely a presence, and I don't want to spill too much, but there's definitely something except the alien. Like you feel like the
Uh-huh.
whole thing, the whole area you're at, like the whole place you're at, is against you. You gotta go through it. And it's constantly being scared. It's not only the alien; it's a bunch of other things.
Are
trying to kill you.
there the androids?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're called synthetics.
Oh, okay.
And basically, there's an AI that controls like the habitable, like the whole like computation system and all that. And basically, it goes rogue and like it's trying to
Dude,
kill you.
Aaron, I have to be honest. You're convincing me to take the bus down.
You
to
should definitely
GameStop
get
to
it.
buy this game.
It's really fun.
I want to get.
I want to see what Joe thinks of it. Joe, you said you also got it.
I'm playing it right now.
Oh shit!
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah,
was
we
trying
streamed
to
it a
stream,
little.
I was trying to stream it,
On
but
the
it
podcast.
didn't work. And I was like, forget it. So I just closed it off and went back to playing. I'm playing it right now, and the alien is in the room with me as we're talking.
Oh shit!
I'm currently hiding under a table.
What does he have to say about the game?
Hi, alien. Yeah, I'm gonna have
Oh,
a
God.
game play a little while.
It's the return cast.
Yeah, I want to play a little bit.
I feel like it's gonna. It should.
I'll get it at some point, just not now because there's so much other stuff I
Yeah.
and like I
It's really fun, and there's also survival mode where you have to survive
Mhm.
a certain amount of time with it, and that's actually pretty engaging. Like you don't have to play it. There's no story.
maybe I'll get like
Um,
if they do like a Game of the Year edition because isn't there gonna
Yeah.
be DLC?
I think there will be.
yeah, I'll
They
probably
said
get
you can
a,
get a season pass for
I'll
it.
probably
There's-
get like a Game of the Year edition.
yeah. There's no multiplayer, right?
No.
No.
Good.
It would have
good.
been interesting, but no, there's no.
I don't think
multiplayer.
that would have been.
Well,
I-
having one alien versus like a few people would have been kind of cool.
That
Kinda like-
you know what?
That's Evolve.
Yeah, kind of like Evolve.
Yeah. That's and you know what? Like Evolve needs a whole game to do that well. Like if it's gonna do it well at all. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
really
feel like if you like they did it in what they did in Left 4 Dead, where you could be the zombies, the specials,
Well, yeah.
and then it's specials versus survivors, and that was pretty interesting.
Mhm.
And I mean, the alien isn't immortal. I'm sure there's a way to destroy it and just have fun.
Kill it, right.
So here's
So yeah, it's a really fun game.
a question. If you have seen Alien and Aliens, which one do you like more? Because I think they're both really good, and they're both really different, but I can't say which one's better.
I
I'm
recuse
currently-
myself from this question.
Huh?
I'm currently hiding in a locker. It's right outside.
Are you holding your breath?
Just fight it like a man.
Right, it kind of
Well,
sucks. Like, you'll hide. What's the creepiest part is you'll hide in a locker, and it'll come over and look into the try looking into the locker, and you'll give you a hold your breath button, and you'll hold your breath
Oh,
and be
shit.
all the way back into
I
the
thought
locker.
I thought the aliens.
And you'll start losing health, and it will still look at you and look for it.
Oh,
and then,
that's so-
it'll go,
that's
it'll move
awesome.
away,
Dude,
and then
you're
you'll
selling the shit out of this game right now.
Yeah, you'll release your air, and then suddenly just looks behind it. It's like, oh, you're fucked now because it just opens the locker
Oh my
and kills
God.
you.
I thought the xenomorphs didn't have eyes.
They don't. He's they're
He's
trying to look
smelling
into
you.
the locker or yeah, maybe
Pick
it's
up
smelling.
pheromones and hormones, stuff like that.
He's trying.
Right.
Yeah, he's trying to smell and hear your breathing. God.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically you're holding your breath, and then it moves away, and then you suddenly exhale so you don't die, and it looks behind it, and you're you're fucked.
I really like the qualifier. Exhale so you don't die.
Exhale so you don't die, and then you die.
Just to clarify
Um,
why you'd exhale.
The first time I saw the alien, I was like, oh fuck, and I just tried running away from it. No,
No, you can't run.
you can't run away. It's you just get and the way it kills you, it's like you get pierced through the stomach, and it's like,
Oh, nice.
and
Yeah.
there's a part. I'll tell you one last part. There's a part when I'm on a terminal, and there's no music. There's no and normally when the alien's around, you get some kind of a atmospheric kind of music, noise,
Ambient.
stuff like that. Yeah, ambience, stuff to make you kind of know it's there and make you feel bad. At this point, I was checking this terminal out and reading some backstory stuff. It's people sending messages to each other and stuff like
Right.
that. I was reading some stuff, and then I hear some noise in the back, but it's you're in a falling a ship that's falling apart, and a giant spaceship that's falling
Mhm.
apart. Not spaceship, it's like a space station
Just
that's
like
falling
Centric
apart.
the
So it's
other
stuff is moving. Yeah. So I get out of the terminal and I look behind and I turn around, and it's a small cubicle room, with the door and the terminal on the other side, like across from it. And I look towards the door, and the Xenomorph's just standing there right in front of me.
Oh shit.
And I'm
Fix
like, fuck, and it just comes and kills me. I'm like, and so there'll be moments too, like whenever you're doing like normal stuff, like betweeners,
Yeah, that's
where like you'll get screwed over too.
that's a thing with movies too. Is that I love when there's no music, and like something scary will happen.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Jaws, like there's parts where just like they're on the boat and they're just like kind of talking, and then like the shark will come up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh shit.
Isn't that the first time you actually see Jaws? Like
You know,
his face?
You
When
know,
it comes
Julian,
up
And he's like throwing the fish into
Yeah.
the ocean. I think so.
Julian, you brought up an excellent point here. I'm really sick of movies treating me like I'm mentally deficient and like spoiling the scene coming up with the music that's playing. Like there was a part in Planet of the Apes where the music was happy while the ape wasn't gonna do anything,
Yeah.
and like right before he did something bad, the music turned like suspenseful. I'm like, God, you could have just left that scene silent and actually made it, have an effect on me, but no.
What I liked is I watched some trailers for Alien Isolation, and it didn't show like the alien in the trailer. If you look for it, you don't really see the alien in the trailers or like any of the encounter parts.
You don't
like-
want to see it. That's the thing.
But
Yeah.
everyone knows what the alien looks like anyway.
No, but it's like it's bringing back those feelings back from
Yeah.
like the old Alien movie, and also they don't show you like spoiler stuff. Like a lot of movies these days and a lot of games
I have
show
to
you
say-
like the scary bits, and it's like you don't want that.
Seeing the first Alien in theaters must have been fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
God.
because like you have no idea what's happening. Like they find this egg,
I
and
have
then like this thing attaches to this guy's face, and then a fucking alien comes out of his chest.
Yeah.
And then like
Oh, God.
suddenly, and then if you've watched it recently, like I totally forgot about this. Like you see the chest burster come out, and then like there's a whole sequence of them like splitting up to find the alien, and then if you don't know what the alien looks like at that point you think it's just that small little chest burster,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the next
Oh,
time
my
you see
God.
it, it's a fucking huge alien.
Yeah.
That must have like made people like shit their fucking pants.
I have a question.
Like that is
Design.
insane.
The design of the game, like in the game, it's designed so well.
Is it?
It's like the design.
Oh, like the actual.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like in Colonial Marines look terrible, but like it actually looks, it looks like the puppet. Like it looks, like I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but originally when they made the original alien, it was giant, like
Suit.
puppet, right? Like suit or
Yeah.
puppet.
In the first movie?
Yeah.
It's a suit.
The suit.
Yeah. It's a
I thought they also like for some stuff they use like puppets and stuff.
In Aliens, there's like some puppetry with the Queen Alien because
Oh.
it's so huge.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But there's also there were also people in the suit.
Oh.
I have a
So yeah, but like it captivates the scariness of the alien. Like,
What were you gonna say, Alex?
Go ahead.
my question is, so let's say I'm looking for a horror game right now, which I sort of am. Should I buy like Dead Space 1 or Alien Isolation? Which
Alien
one would you
Isolation.
recommend over the other?
You should definitely get
Really?
Alien Isolation, but Dead Space
I think-
1 was actually really
I think
fun.
Dead
too.
Space is more of an action, from
No.
what I've seen.
No.
I see.
Dead Space
Huh?
is the original one is very slow.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's,
And
I liked it first. From what I played of it, I didn't play it that much, but I liked it
Yeah.
a lot.
the second one.
and you know you
Second
get
one.
weapons. What?
The second Dead Space game was actually, to my opinion, like the best one they made.
Yeah, I liked it a little more.
And they
Too.
made so many.
And then
weird
3 was
changes in
no,
3.
3 was weird because 3 was much more action, like co-op based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't good. But one like started the idea, and 2 did it a little better by making like the environment much more creepy.
Most video game sequels are better than their
Yeah.
predecessors.
And then the third one kind of screwed it up. But I still enjoyed the third one.
I mean, like the first sequel. You know.
Okay. Well, that's our Alien Isolation, right?
So you guys recommend for me Isolation over Dead Space 1?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well I'm probably gonna end up getting Dead Space 1 first because it's like $5 now.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
like
say
yeah.
5 years old.
If
you
you're
order
looking
them-
for price-wise, yeah, go for that.
yeah.
Okay. Because the reason I ask this is that I've been on a bit of like a late 2000s game binge right now because Arkham Asylum came out for free
Nice.
on PS Plus. I've been
I still
and
need-
I have to say I haven't played Arkham Asylum since April 2010, and my God, this game is better than I remember it. Like now that I'm older, I'm paying attention to like all the different references to other Batman shit. Like it is really impressing me with the attention to detail.
I like the Calendar Man stuff. That stuff is cool.
It's always so funny to me. It's like, you're going to die on May 5th, Batman! It's just like, such a pointless villain, but he's there.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the anime Cross Ange?
No.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Have you guys heard of the anime called Cross Ange?
Cross Ange?
No, I have not.
No.
Yeah.
Is it recent?
Okay. Yes, it's the second episode is airing or has aired today. Let me just say this: if anyone out there likes things that are good because they're really bad, watch Cross Ange. It literally has every single fucking cliche you can think of for an anime. It has mecha, it has princesses in skimpy outfits, it has dig girls, it has prison rape. Basically everything you would ever want to see in a really bad show if you're into that. So I recommend that if you guys like to laugh at bad things.
I'm trying to look it up right now and see it.
Yeah.
It's on Crunchyroll.
It is atrocious. It is. It's like The Room, but in anime form, and I sort of say this a lot, but it's a pretty good comparison, honestly.
So
it is The Room if it was an anime.
Alright, so quick one on anime. There's an anime that actually came out by Jinomushi, or I don't remember his name, but
Aldno Zero.
Gendo, I don't remember his name, but
Gendo did nothing wrong.
Gendo's all right. I like Gendo. Gendo's cool.
Gendo did nothing wrong.
I don't know what that means.
Gendo from Evangelion.
It's a yeah.
There was a show that came out recently called Elden Zero, and I told you about this, Alex.
Yeah.
It basically makes a joke of all like the mecha and
Didn't this guy make Madoka Magica?
I'm not sure. I think so. But
Yeah,
it basically makes a joke of all the like princess animes, princess mecha animes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil it, but the ending is like so ballsy.
Yeah. Cross Ange also makes a joke out of them by being really bad, which isn't exactly the same thing, I realize.
But yeah, the funny thing is like there's parts where they're like, oh, believe in yourself and you'll win, and it's like, no, you don't. You're not, that's not gonna work. So you actually gotta be strategically like sane to win something like reality. So, but
I have a topic if you guys want to move on.
Sure.
Train wrecks, and I don't know if we've talked about this, but I don't think we have. Games, movies, TV shows, train wrecks. What are things that's
like
not literal train wrecks? Not literal. We're not actually on 4chan.
Sexy train wreck.
Yes, with big
Train
nurses.
Rail Wars, the anime. that anime.
Rail whores.
Rail Wars.
Yeah, my question.
So it's just
is,
like
what
things that
started out good and ended up just fucking terrible. Like The Walking Dead's an example we've talked about. But what's something else?
All right,
you guys...
so I have a build-up question on that, and I told this Julian all week that I have a question. And my question is, and it just builds up on top of yours basically, but it's what's something you guys feel is like overrated or was like made out to be
let's just bitch
really
about
good,
shit.
but overrated. So bitching
Next
time,
4
guys.
hours is bitching about
This is a
shit.
bitch cast.
Bitch cast.
It's the retard cast, the bitch cast, the racist cast.
I already had articles on all the Saw movies, but I thought Saw 7 was such a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
Like, it's like one of the worst finales to any fucking series I've ever seen.
I mean,
Because
yeah, go on.
I can't spoil it, but because, like, if you want to, like, actually follow the Saw series and the characters, it's not bad.
Don't. Oh.
But it's like the last one just gives absolutely no fucking closure to the story.
Yep.
Like it
Well,
ends
that's
on
because they're going to release Saw 8 Veterinarian.
They actually are gonna do Saw 8.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm okay with that because Saw 7 just fucking like it doesn't
But Saw 6 was okay.
it doesn't end any. Saw 6 was really good.
Yeah.
I like Saw
really?
6. I was surprised like that far into the series, Saw 6 is actually pretty good.
Huh.
But
I
Saw
didn't see that
7,
coming.
like Saw 7 ends on a note that already fucking happened in 2. And like
they
it's like-
reused
it's
the
like-
twist.
it's someone being trapped in the bathroom from the first movie, and then but like they don't have the saw to like cut off their chain or like cut off their foot to get out of the chain. But at the end of the second movie that happened, but then in the third movie, the guy manages to get out of his chain by like breaking and twisting his foot like out of the chain.
Wait, they reused the twist. Are you shitting me?
Well, it's like they reuse the
They, like,
ending, but
joked
it's not.
about it.
But it's
They're like,
not
oh.
it's not an ending because we've seen someone get out of that situation before.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give any closure.
Basically, he could have just chopped off his leg or like broken it and gotten out of the chain.
Exactly.
But like what happens at the end is like he basically, it's not a spoiler by now. It's like the movie's been out for like almost 2 years now.
Well, I know, but it's kind of a spoiler for the series, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But basically, like the person takes away the saw
Yeah, yeah.
and like he closes him in there. And so he can still get out.
Yeah, it's just a terrible and also it's just a shitty movie. Like none of the traps are good if you're a Saw fan. Like
I think the one with the guy from Linkin Park.
from
was
Linkin
pretty
Park. Yeah, there's one where like I think the
He's the
lead
singer.
singer
good. The lead
from
singer.
Linkin Park is like trapped to like he's like his skin is like glued onto like the back seat like onto like
The
the seat of a car,
Like
and he has to like grab something that's outside the windshield, and it's like tearing his skin off when he does that.
Right.
And like if he doesn't like pull a leather, like
all his friends
all
died.
his friends like die.
Yeah, it's because he was a racist, right?
Yeah, like they're all racist or something. That's like why
it's
they're
really
not
funny
yeah.
because like all of his tattoos like are
are real.
like no well his tattoos are real,
Right.
but his tattoos don't like reflect any racism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all like about like just life and
Love.
and, like yeah. It's just
Also,
like
also the first trap in the movie is fucking stupid. Like, okay, so if you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know, the Saw series is Jigsaw puts people in these traps where they have to get out.
Prove their will to
and-
live, right?
Yeah, prove their will to live. And like it's usually someone who's done something bad or just doesn't appreciate life. So the first trap in the movie is this trap where like these two guys are on like opposite ends of each other, like if it was us, and they have like saw blades like here, and they can like push the saw blades like at each other, but there's also like a saw blade in the middle, like upright, and there's this woman like hanging from the top from the ceiling.
oh
and,
yeah.
and it's like they were like in a love triangle or something. Like
No,
that's
she
like
basically cheated like on
yeah, she like cheated on both of them basically.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like worth putting them in a trap. Like what the fuck?
It's like don't
Yeah,
put them in the
yeah,
trap.
And also,
and,
also the whole trap is like in front of like a crowd of people.
It's in a store window, and people people gather
Yeah, they
outside
had
and watch
together.
them.
It's like the funniest beginning to a fucking like horror movie. It's so shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so I'm done. Saw 7, fucking train wreck in my opinion.
Back to things that are overrated, I
and not
guess.
Saw 6. But yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. Joe, what about you?
Yeah, what does Joe have that he thinks is
Overrated
Overrated.
or train wreck?
or a train wreck?
Well,
Or just shit. Just shit. Talk about shit.
Crusty.
my career. No,
My love life is shit.
My comic book career.
what do you got, Joe?
well, me, honestly, the one thing that is surprisingly not a train wreck, but kind of felt like it could have been, was Destiny. And the whole...
It could have been.
It could have been. Definitely if the servers weren't working. Like
Yeah,
the first-
or like if it didn't have good gameplay. But anyway, go ahead.
But, yeah, right now, I'm thinking the Halo series is potentially going to be the next train wreck, like a big one.
Like at some point.
Yeah, because they could have done a really good job with it, but
I think they should have just ended it on 3. I know it's
They
been
really should have.
Yes.
because
the story
Halo
ends
4,
at 3.
okay, they gave up on inventing inventive weapons. Seriously,
Four
this was
had a fanfic level story.
yeah. Okay, the weapons go as follow: a pistol, a pistol, a pistol. a rifle, a rifle, a rifle, a shotgun, a shotgun, a shotgun, a sniper rifle, a sniper rifle, a sniper rifle, and something that goes boom
Yeah.
for each tier weapon.
Oh,
Because
and
there's,
Pretty true.
something that's kind of an SMG.
because there's
Yeah.
But they took them
the
out.
Covenant and the Progenitor weapons, and they're all basically the same damn weapons. The only thing about the Progenitor weapons, they're basically the human and Covenant weapons.
They're
mixed
orange.
into- Yeah, they're stupid.
They glow orange. Yeah, you're right. Like it's a sci-fi world, but they don't have like things that are like new or different.
It's like they like,
Something-
hey, let's make every weapon a flat cannon.
I think the only cool thing is the sword. Is the energy sword
Gravity
Yeah.
hammer.
or the gravity hammer.
I,
Those are the
I
only
was
things that are-
okay.
Let this guy talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna bring up Halo earlier, and okay, so I think everyone here knows by now. I'm not like the biggest Halo fan. I don't hate them or anything. I'm just not the biggest fan. One thing I want to say though,
Julian hates you.
I think that a lot of people overrate this series because it was their first console FPS.
Yeah.
That doesn't
And it's the
make
same way about.
bad.
It's the same way with Call of Duty.
Yes.
Like when they got their Xbox 360,
Yes. I know I overrate. I know I overrate Call of Duty all the time because I have such an emotional attachment to it. It's not actually that good. But the thing about Halo is that because it was an exclusive, I feel like it formed like a little personality cult much faster and much stronger.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's better because it's only on the system.
Yeah. One thing I want to say though, I hope that Halo 5 is good. I want Halo 5 to be good. But at the same time, if it's good and all it does is just rip off like Halo 2 or 3's multiplayer, I'm gonna give up on the series. I think because I bought 4.
That's like,
4 was
why not
okay.
just make it
I think
two?
the only good thing about Reach, even though you and I remember you hated Reach.
Well, I didn't like Armor Lock. That
Armor
just
Lock,
killed
yeah.
the fucking gameplay.
But at least they tried new things, which that's what I like about
it
Reach.
was still Bungie, and I
like-
think the gameplay was still fun.
It was
Yeah, and like
solid
they added
enough,
new
right?
like the abilities.
Yeah.
That's why people
They
liked it.
tried. They tried with it.
4
yeah.
did it way better.
Her ability's way better.
But with
Yeah,
4,
that'd be
they tried
good.
to make it Call of Duty with Halo stuff.
Yes, right.
I didn't like the loadouts.
That was
The
freaking dumb. But some good
I don't
news
love loadouts.
with Halo 5
Yeah.
multiplayer. Some good news with Halo 5. They're going to get rid of loadouts completely. They're gone.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I think
meant,
that takes away from the tactical
Yeah.
thinking of how you're gonna play the game.
What do you mean?
Because in Halo 1 and 2, you always had to like go over to these places where the
Oh, you mean
spawn.
loadouts do take out the tactical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tactical
I'm-
element of game.
I thought you meant loadout. Taking away loadouts takes away.
No, I'm
tactical.
saying putting loadouts takes away
Yeah.
from the point of getting a tactical advantage of getting these weapons.
Yeah, I'll say that about. I've been playing Smash Brothers on 3DS, and I like the customization of feature, but it feels very like
Call of Duty.
it's gonna like be way too unbalanced.
Yeah.
Which is good that it's like only for for playing with friends, but so, like I've stopped like using customizations because I'm just like I'm fine with how the characters are.
One thing I mentioned this before. Okay, it's this really silly conspiracy theory that I have believe in. I have believed
Conspiracy.
that I have believed that the reason that the Master Chief Collection is being released is so that 343 can look at which game's multiplayer is more popular and rip off that one. And I
Not
hope I'm wrong.
necessarily.
I don't want that to
Because
happen.
the only multiplayer that's coming back is 2s, right? I don't think they're bringing back 3s, are they? Because
I
3's
think
still
all of them are
technically online.
The way it's going to work, they'll have basically every iteration
Oh, you can, like,
of multiplayer with every single map released up to today in the game release. So you can play as Halo 2 normally and all the maps for it, and then you can play the revamped Halo 2 with a few maps for it,
Oh, cool.
and you'll
Yeah,
have
that's
Halo
Halo
3 and
2.
Halo 4's multiplayer.
Yeah, and the Halo 2 Anniversary maps and like the engine's completely different, and there's new like
That's cool.
weapons and stuff.
Did you guys?
I think like that's like their test for like also to see how like Halo.
I
5
honestly
is, like-
just feel like the Master Chief Collection is mainly focused not to just re-release the game, but to like sell more of the Xbox One.
that too.
I feel like that's at least Microsoft's main focus
Yeah.
with the whole thing.
You-
Because they could have
you
just
know,
released Halo 2 Anniversary.
Yeah.
They didn't
I
have to
think
put money into. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
think that the Master Chief Collection is the only thing that's going to be out on the Xbox One so far that's worth having.
I'm curious to see how
That's
Sunset
what I think.
Overdrive is going to be.
I
I feel
do.
like it's gonna
I-
get boring. I feel like I saw gameplay. I feel like it's gonna get boring after a little.
Really? I think
Yeah, it
looks
seems
pretty
fun, like you'd enjoy it at first, but I feel like it would get boring because it doesn't look like a game
Has depth,
that
you know.
would. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like a game that would keep you locked in because I feel like it would die really fast. It looks kind of like Dead Rising. Like it reminds me of what happened to Dead Rising 3. It was really
Dead
fun to
Rising
play
3
at first,
never
but
looked
then you
good.
kind of like finished it up
Oh.
or played it with friends alone, and you're like, I'm good, I'm done. I never like that. It kind of died. That's what I feel like what happened to Sunset Overdrive. It's like it's being hyped a lot,
Is it?
and like that's what Microsoft is now focusing a lot on, like
Huh.
trying to like make it this big thing, but like I feel like it's not going to deliver.
I don't think they're gonna do
Yeah,
that.
Halo's like their
I
fat,
know the way I've been seeing it.
this ugly, fat, single child that they rub makeup on to make him look better.
It's Dudley. It's Dudley from Harry
Yeah.
Potter. Halo is Dudley from Harry Potter.
Yeah, and even though Halo does have some good points, and the live action stuff they do with it is actually fantastic, you know, they should just stop making the game and just make a bunch of in-engine videos with it. I mean, it
That
has
is
such
what-
better lore than
That's
gameplay
what
now.
Rooster Teeth does. It's pretty much what Rooster Teeth does.
Yeah. Well, now they don't.
No, they do. Red vs. Blue they still do sometimes,
I know, but it's a lot of it's CGI now.
but it's like
Really?
in the design engine, like they use the same
Yeah.
model.
I actually didn't know it was CGI right now.
Yeah, Red vs.
Anyway,
Blue got to like season.
Yeah, I
12 or
don't love the
something.
CGI stuff. I mean, like the action is really well choreographed.
Yeah.
But it still
Come on,
just
Come on.
feels
But
really
it's
weird.
Red versus Blue was at its best when it was a fucking talking head show, where the only thing it had
Yeah,
going for
it
it
was
was the
like-
writing.
Actually, I think that Reconstruction, which was the first one they did with Halo 3, like there's a lot of really good like
Good sequences, right?
yeah, like the way they use like the Halo 3 engine, like
Mm-hmm.
and like they get really creative
Creatively.
with it, like with how limited it is.
Yeah, that's what's interesting
And I thought the
about,
story
like,
was pretty like good as a continuation from like the first 5 seasons.
yeah, that's what's
Yeah,
interesting. Like
yeah,
when you
man.
have a very limited engine and you make you make it look good, like you work it, like when you have very
Yeah.
limited resources and you make something look good, it just feels much more like cheap. I remember early. That's why a lot of people really liked early Minecraft and shit because it looked like shit. But like the things you do with it.
I think
Yeah.
I think that really lo-fi productions have two things going for them. One is that because they're lo-fi, the creators have to be really inventive to make it good, and two, because
Yeah, good
things
plot.
that look like shit have a certain charm to them.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at one of my favorite movies of all time is The Evil Dead, and a lot of why that
budget of $2.
yeah, it has such like an extremely low budget, and they make it really. There's just like you can tell there's so much creativity in like
Like,
the way
there's a lot of
Sam Raimi
They
put into
stretched
it,
out
you
like
know?
every dollar probably. They like,
Yeah.
used up every dollar.
There's love put into it. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
The love is part of the budget.
The actors get paid.
What?
The actors get paid for that movie.
I think eventually.
And what? No, I'm saying like originally though. I don't
And
know.
royalties eventually, right?
And, well, of course, in royalties.
Like,
I'm wondering,
well, like
maybe they.
Bruce Campbell and I think I forget the actor's name, but the one who played Scott.
Yeah.
They were friends of Sam Raimi. They were like really good friends with Sam Raimi, so maybe they didn't get paid. I'm not sure about the other.
Definitely made.
I think they were
His
all.
career,
I
though.
think they were all friends.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't, but I feel like
Royalties.
eventually they got paid.
Well, of course.
Yeah, with royalties, right?
Of course, Bruce Campbell got paid.
Yeah.
Like he got a lot of good roles after that and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
He got 3 roles
He
in
was
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
as
one point,
random
right?
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Um,
in all 3 Spider-Man movies as different characters.
Wait, really? I had no. I actually
Yeah,
did
he's
not know
all
that.
the original 3.
Really? Yeah, like in the first one, he's the guy at the wrestling, like the announcer for the wrestling match. In the
Oh
second
my
one,
God.
he's the guy who keeps Peter Parker like out of the theater. You know, when he tries to get in and like there's no late
Huh.
seating. He's that
That-
guy.
that-
And then
that actually
in the
blew my
third
mind.
one, he's like
like a French.
He's like a French waiter.
Yeah.
Like
It's like
when Peter Parker's gonna propose to Mary Jane, and he does like a really like shitty French accent, and it's
God.
amazing. I love
Oh.
Bruce Campbell so much.
Want to hear something? I found something really funny. Apparently, Johnny Depp's character in Tusk,
Mm-hmm.
like he's French.
Yeah.
And he does-
he's
he
like
does a
the
French-
Asian, Yeah.
Yeah, he does like a French accent when he talks English,
Yeah.
but he has an American accent when he speaks it's French. Apparently,
Yes.
like, he has
I know.
a very heavy American accent when he
His
speaks
whole part was just so
A
funny.
joke. It was just.
Oh, well,
French.
Will
Will
join.
join his life.
No. Okay. The people who
Well,
give
we'll
Tusk
see when he joins
shit,
again.
I don't fully understand. Okay, I do understand why people
What?
give Tusk shit because it's not like a good film, but it's such a silly, self-aware piece of shit that it benefits from that. It knows it's bad.
There's charm to it with like how they know like exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, you're making a movie about a fucking the premise itself is so ridiculous. It's
Although-
impossible to take it seriously.
One thing I really liked about Tusk, just real quick, is how there's not really any violence in it. Like there's moments of gore,
Yeah.
but you never see like
Yeah.
anything actually happen. It's always like
Yeah,
aftermath or like right beforehand.
the gore gets really funny too.
Yeah.
Walrus suit. The Walrus is fucking hilarious.
Dude,
Like,
the
the
wall
movie
suit
is a
is like
comedy.
amazing.
Yeah, the movie is a deadpan comedy, you know, and
Exactly.
if you don't appreciate or can't detect or don't like deadpan humor, then you're not gonna like the movie. But if you do, then it's for you.
I love the brown recluse scene. But anyway.
I have one thing. Well, it's 3 words, and it's something that's been a pain
What?
in our asses for a long time now. Man of Steel.
Oh, well, we already kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh.
Like,
Oh, I just haven't seen it, and don't think I ever will.
don't watch it.
it's bad.
It's bad.
I have to say, I'm okay. Well, I mean, talking
It's
about
not Superman.
yeah, it's not Superman.
It's not Superman.
I think everything that's been said about Man of Steel has been said.
Yeah.
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 I just feel like the main
I-
thing you can say about it's like it's not Superman.
I'm still curious to see how Batman versus Superman is going to turn out because I hate Zack Snyder's directing. I think it's awful.
This is
Except
how
for
it's
the
gonna
Donald
go.
Trump remake.
This is how it's gonna go. You'll have Batman be like, "I'm Batman," and then it's gonna be like, "Superman, I'm
I'm
Superman."
prepared for everything.
And then you'll find out the movie's actually sock puppets.
God. That's a really good like Batman versus Superman like movie. Batman. Shit.
The animated.
The animated. There's like a recent animated movie that
Yeah.
came out.
Yes, it's,
Like was it like Apocalypse or something?
No,
Yeah.
it's
Was it?
Batman. The Dark Knight Returns, I think it's called.
The Dark Knight
Oh.
Returns.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 videos made.
Yeah, part 1 and part 2.
That's a really famous comic book.
yeah,
Yeah, the movies are really good because like the animation is really like
Yeah,
it's,
all of DC's like we said, DC's animated
Yeah.
stuff is really good.
like it's like the design for Batman. Like even though he's like an older guy now,
Yeah.
he's still like this brooding tower of like brooding tank of a guy.
I
And
think that's
see,
what they're
like,
going for.
The
in Arkham
girl,
Knight.
little girl Robin, like they got a female Robin that time.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty interesting.
I think
he's
that's
just
what
giant compared to her.
I think that's where they're going for in Arkham Knight as well. In Arkham Knight, Batman's like 47 or some shit. Like he's getting old, like too old for this shit.
I think they should expand onto the Batman Beyond universe at some point because I feel like that's an interesting like world to explore.
they do
I
have
really
an entire
like-
comic series for it.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
it's an interesting thing because have you seen Batman Beyond?
I saw like some
Yes.
when it was on.
It's definitely has the same animation team, but like the
Yeah.
writing for it is very different from the animated series. Like you still
Yeah,
feel
and-
like Bruce Wayne is the same character,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
but he's more of a mentor role. So
Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond just makes me so happy to see him every time because of
Mhm.
how fucking consistent he is. You know,
yeah, he's a fucking
he's just
badass.
so consistent.
Even at old age, he's a
Uh,
badass.
Bruce is too stubborn to die.
Oh yeah.
My favorite scene in Batman Beyond, my favorite scene, it's probably my favorite Batman scene ever, is when Terry's in trouble and Bruce climbs into an exosuit that has the chance to kill him by stopping his heart, and they play like a remixed version of the Danny Elfman theme, and it's the
Oh
most
yeah.
fucking heart-wrenching badass
Yes.
scene in Batman. Oh my god, it's really early in the show too,
Mhm.
so
really
it's like
good.
in episode 6 or some shit.
Yeah, and the
It's
villain's pretty
such a
fucking
wonderful scene.
weird. It's basically Ghost Rider. It's basically the villain of Batman Beyond.
Have you guys seen? Have you guys seen Ghost Rider 1 or 2? Those are so
Both
fucking
of them,
funny.
Alex. I don't want to talk about it
I've
anymore.
seen
Okay,
first
the
one,
first
I've
Ghost
seen
Rider
most of
movie
two.
was terrible. The second one was actually entertaining because of how
No,
they
they're-
actually made it.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
okay. Two
the
has
first,
like
the
some of
first
the
one was
worst.
just bad. The second one was go on.
Two had like some of the absolute worst cinematography I've ever seen in a movie. Like,
And-
what the
and that's
fuck
why
was
it was
going
good.
on? Like, it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Like every
Do you
shot
guys
is like,
remember the scene?
it's like every shot is trying to be dynamic, and it just sucks because of that.
Begging at the door. The fucking scene.
It's so
Uh,
bad. Like every shot is
do
like
you
a
guys-
fucking motion camera. Like it's fucking
Wait, let me
terrible.
talk. What'd you say, Alex?
Do you guys remember the one scene where they throw a flash grenade at Ghost Rider, and after that happens, he just spins around like a fucking bottle for no
Oh, yeah.
reason, floating in the air. I'm just
Like he's just like floating and he like fucking does weird shit in the middle of the air. Like
oh my god, 10
I
out
will
of 10.
I will say, at least in the first movie, Ghost Rider, like when he's Ghost Rider, like he's fucking Ghost Rider. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But like everything around that is shit.
oh yeah.
Like the guy who playing what is it, Darkheart or Blackheart or what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like
Leech.
he's awful. Is that his name? I thought it was like something like
It's like
Blackheart.
the son of Lucifer or whatever. The son of the devil or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and like all the villains sucked. Like
I love that when they introduce the villain, he just walks. He's just like you see him walking and he's just like scary face.
oh, yeah.
Jump scare. Fuck you.
It's so bad.
It's like that's the point where you know like the movie. No, the moment you see the moment you see
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. The moment you see Nicolas Cage
You
on
need to
screen,
learn names.
no, it's not learning names. It's like I have some memory shit. Like I have shitty memory. I'm sorry.
Has Alzheimer's.
But especially like I'll forget. I'll remember someone's face, but I'll forget their name like really easily. Anyway,
Like all the scenes with Ghost Rider are good, but they have no like the whole movie. I have no idea what the plot structure was for that movie.
There
You
was
know,
no
like
plot.
it just felt like random scenes.
It was. That's why it was great.
Like it was so weird. Like what the fuck?
so hey Will, how you doing?
Oh yeah, Will's here. He hasn't said anything.
Oh, I will.
Unless he's
Will,
dead.
Will, the current topic is train wrecks. Not like
Yeah.
literal train. We can talk about literal train wrecks if you want.
Choo choo.
I've been in the room and listening for like 16 minutes now. Took you guys this long to realize I was here.
No, I realized you were
no,
in, but everybody was like in the middle.
No,
of
we
the
knew. We just
conversation.
fucking hate you.
Yeah. Everybody had a point to pass along, but yeah, I noticed you joined. I was like, hey, there's Will.
Yeah, we did mention it before ignoring you.
I didn't hear you mention.
I'm trying.
I
to
was
think
like,
of
oh,
other train
look,
wrecks.
no, we said like, hey, look, there's Will, and you joined and you left, and then you rejoined again.
Oh.
I was like, oh, there you go.
Oh,
So
really?
what are some other train
Yeah,
wrecks?
it showed you
Weird.
like joined, left, and then
Yes.
we.
So yes.
We're basically talking about things that are either overrated or like were
Yeah.
built
You know-
up to be a train wreck.
You know,
Well, here's
this
a
is
train
close to-
wreck.
Okay.
My month of October so far, which is why it's been so
Oh.
spotty for me to be in here. So,
What's going on, babe? What's going on?
okay, not necessarily a train wreck, just super, super busy and all over the place. So I will probably only be able to be here for another 15 or 20 minutes. But
That's
I did
probably
want
what
to.
we're gonna-
I did want to at least stop in and say hi.
Hi.
It looks like we might have a couple of viewers too on Twitch. I'm
Oh,
not
what?
sure.
Oh yeah. Let's check that out.
At least there
Wait,
was. There was
yeah,
4 at
it's-
one point.
At some point, some viewers, but
So yeah, train wrecks.
Avatar: Last Airbender.
Agreed. Next. Agreed. Next.
The movie.
Okay,
movie.
good.
Not the show. The
No,
show, is
terrible.
incredible.
When the opening scene and the guy gets splashed with water, yet his hair remains perfectly dry, that movie was dead to me.
What?
I don't even
That's your
remember.
biggest problem?
Does Zuko even have a scar in the movie?
No, it's like
In
it's
some
like,
scenes,
like,
he does.
I've
like,
never even
pushing
seen the movie.
jelly
I've
on
never
his face.
seen the anime either. So,
Oh, you gotta see it.
It's
really
actually
good.
worth watching.
and I've never seen Korra.
For something from Nickelodeon, it's pretty damn impressive.
You know
Yes.
what's really damn impressive from Nickelodeon? Their Ninja Turtles show. It's
Oh,
really
the
good.
new one. I heard it's really
So good. I've talked about this before. I watch it every week. Although it's a little okay, here's a train wreck. Now, no
new
offense,
movie?
no offense to Seth Green. I mean, he's a good guy and he's funny and
Family
everything.
guy.
But Seth Green has taken. So Jason Biggs was the voice of Leonardo in the 2012 Nickelodeon cartoon.
Really?
And
The
then
guy from
something,
American Pie?
yeah, and then some. Well, it's actually
Huh.
filled with a lot of people. Sean Astin, who plays, well, he's lots of things, but most famously to nerds, he's probably, he's Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. He plays Raphael in the show.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a star-studded cast actually, and it's really good. It is hands down the best incarnation of Ninja Turtles ever, in my opinion. I've seen it all because I'm a big Turtles fan.
And that's interesting with Nickelodeon because even in Avatar they have a lot of really big voices.
So,
like,
Yeah.
but anyone,
like George Takei, and then Tenzin is played by J.K. Simmons. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but yeah, no, anybody who's even remotely interested in Turtles should definitely check out the show. It's really good. I know the animation when it first came out was a little odd. It looked a little stiff, but like any show, it's like, when Reboot first came out, as it went through the seasons, it got better and is getting better. But it is actually really cool because they meld a bunch of different animation styles together. So the main show is like the CG look to it, but it has like all these like comic-inspired water painting stuff, and they have like anime type things. Like the Turtles will have like they'll have like expressive emotion things drawn around them in anime style at certain scenes. Like it's just this whole like melting pot of all these, this whole melting pot of all these different animation styles, and they actually do every season because they're on the third season now. Every season they always have a cartoon that the Turtles watch, and it's always like a play on a classic like 60s or 70s cartoon. So like in the first season, they basically had like the Star Trek cartoon, and it's like actually done in that animation style. And then the second season, it was like I think it was like a Thundercats setup, or not Thunder. I don't know. But it was like based on anime that actually had like the lip flaps intentionally not match the words and everything. And
It's pretty awesome.
yeah, so it's really cool. It's a really good show. But anyway, so something happened. I don't know. Whatever. Nobody knows fully what the reason is. I know Jason Biggs, had sort of a Twitter blow up earlier this year and stuff. But he ended up leaving the show. They've never really said why. And they had this other guy, I forget his name now, but he was basically just like a voice actor, not like a celebrity. And he came in and he did Leo for the last like 4 or 5 episodes of season 2. And he actually was a really good stand-in for Biggs. He sounded pretty similar to him and everything. And then starting with season 3, they recast Leo, but it's Seth Green. Seth Green is now the voice of Leonardo. And it's not necessarily that Seth Green is bad as Leo or is a bad voice actor.
You can tell it's him.
It's the fact, well, yeah, and a lot of people are like, oh, I just hear Chris Griffin now. I mean, he's obviously not doing his Chris Griffin voice, but I mean, it's like, but the thing is that you change a voice like Jason Biggs to a voice like Seth Green, and they are so ridiculously not even close to each other.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it because the show actually gets really good, and it's actually quite dark in a lot of places too. It's sort of like a mix of the 2003 series with its darker elements and the 80s series with its lightheartedness and comedy and stuff. And there's actually and there's a lot of throwbacks to the classic show as well. Even the theme song is like an updated hip hop rap no, not necessarily right, but it's like kind of. But okay, that makes it sound corny. And shit. It's actually really awesome, but it's done to the same like general tune of the '80s theme.
By the way, Will, can you please check the Twitch stream? I have a surprise for you.
Okay, I'm on the Twitch stream. Oh, did you type into the chat or something?
No, it's in the Twitch stream. Can you see it?
Oh, hold on. I have to refresh because I wasn't actually playing it. I had it paused just to see viewers. Hold on.
That's fine. That's fine.
Anyway, yeah. So, but that's my thing. Is just that it's going to take a while to get used to the voice change there. But it's a really good show though.
Yeah, I don't know why Nickelodeon does this actually pretty well. They get really good like actors to fit like the characters that they create.
Well,
And they
Nickelodeon's had like a long history of having like hit shows, and they actually are really good. And the nice thing about a lot of Nickelodeon shows that I've seen too, is that they're not like they're generally like for younger viewers, but they're not just for younger. Like there's always
Yes,
stuff that adults can
yes.
appreciate in it.
Especially Avatar, right?
Well,
Yeah.
even some of their live action shows are all right too. You know, like
No, they're not. Funny.
okay, when I actually, you know what? iCarly is not the worst show ever. I've seen it with my nieces and nephews. I've watched it with them. It's actually not a bad show.
Drake and Josh.
It's not terrible.
It's really good.
Drake and Josh was good when you were younger, but
Yeah.
I
iCarly
haven't seen
wasn't
it in a while.
necessarily bad, but it didn't fit our age group by the time it came out. It didn't
Yeah.
fit.
yeah,
I feel like
I
it's-
Like,
weird-
whoever watched it, and
yeah.
Spencer's the character, the older brother character, he's really funny. And there's actually really
no, he's a good
heartfelt
actor.
moments.
I actually like him. I think
Yeah.
he could be like in a sitcom, like an adult like network sitcom. I think he'd be pretty good in that.
2.5 Men.
Might have been, or
One thing I want to mention, just to get back on topic a little bit, I think that Avatar, the animated series, it's a little bit overrated. Because
No.
I still think it's
No.
good, and I rate it very highly, but I think it's overrated.
Really? I think it's amazing.
Well,
Like,
yes, sort of. Well, I mean,
I just started watching it again. I showed it to my mom, the whole series,
Huh.
and like I like it like even more than I did the first time seeing it.
Really? Maybe
Great.
I need to rewatch it. Maybe it gets better with repeat viewings, you know?
I think it does. The first part of like the first season isn't really the best, but like you just know that it's getting like that it just
Yeah.
keeps getting better. That's
Oh,
another thing with the
this-
show. Like they kept getting better with the show, which is amazing.
I agree.
Speaking of
The
other
finale
shows,
was great.
I know we're not necessarily train wrecks, but just other cool shows that are sort of aimed for younger people. There's two, like, who here has been watching Star Wars Rebels? Has anybody seen the first episode?
I watched
Star Wars fan.
In general.
I watched the Clone Wars. I really enjoyed it.
Really?
So did I. Oh, the Clone Wars is an awesome show.
Yeah.
Especially as it went on and it got really good. But the thing is, the people doing Star Wars Rebels is like 95% the same team. that
Yeah.
did-
Oh,
that did
shit.
Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Um,
it looks the same, right?
Yeah,
By
but
the
the
way,
show is
it's the
actually
same style.
really awesome, and it is not just like it is not like this inherently more kiddie version of it. There's actually even in the premiere, there's some darker elements to it, and the cool thing is that since it's set. It's set between episode 3 and 4, but it's got more of a classic original trilogy feel to it. So they
Cool.
get open access to all of like the original music from all the original trilogy and everything. And
Oh,
But
damn,
is
that's
it
awesome.
around the same time? Is it around the same time Starkiller is rampaging?
It's I
Force
think
Unleashed.
I think canonically it's about 10 years before A New Hope. So
Okay,
I
so
think
yeah,
I
it's
think
around
it's
there.
it's around there. They actually have this, and he hasn't been introduced into the series yet, but they actually have this new villain called the Inquisitor, and he's sort of also he's kind of filling in for Vader, because I think at this point, which is the same thing in the Force Unleashed too. At this point, Anakin Vader he'd kind of already killed off the bulk of all the Jedi, and now he's just sort of he's letting other people sort of clean up the rest of the work for him. So the Inquisitor is also one of those people who's to go to track down Jedi and stuff. But the premiere episode, the show focuses around a band of 6 heroes, and the main
Poe?
star is a kid named Ezra, and he's basically like Aladdin.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's like Aladdin of Star Wars. He's literally called a street rat in the show.
He's
And
pretty
then,
much fine.
and then there's a Jedi
That's
voiced
so
by
funny.
Freddie Prinze Jr., which is
Oh,
pretty
sure.
cool to see a big name like him in the show, because I like him. And he plays a Jedi a hidden Jedi called Kanan, and they're basically like the start of the rebellion. And the cool thing about this era of the rebellion is it actually is like the beginnings of what's going to come into the Rebel Alliance. So there is literally things like graffiti tagging of like stormtrooper helmets with like like red X's through them and shit, like the Ghostbusters no symbol and stuff like that. Like just cool stuff like what would legitimately happen in this universe if people started to kind of rise up and fight against the Empire. Yeah.
I have a question for you because you seem like a Star Wars fan. Do you think that they should include Han Solo in this series, or if they should just let him remain in the original trilogy bubble that he's in?
What you mean in Rebels or in the new movies?
Yeah, in Rebels. Do you think they should basically insert younger versions of Episode 4 characters or not?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think that it could be something cool if they were done as like cameos every now and then, like not to become the main focus of the show. But if you did a cameo,
Yoda's like a main character.
Well, I actually believe that Yoda will be in it, and actually in the premiere, is the spoilers, but whatever. Because it's public knowledge, but in the premiere, Obi-Wan actually does make an appearance through a Jedi holocron that Kanan has.
That's pretty cool.
But the cool thing is Kanan never his Jedi training was never completed when the whole Order 66 thing came up, and he basically had to go into exile and hide the fact that he's a Jedi, because if anybody knows, he'll be hunted down, right? Yeah. So it's funny because Ezra on the ship actually he like finds Kanan's hidden lightsaber and Jedi holocron, and then he's able to open the holocron accidentally with his force powers, which kind of opens up this whole thing. So there's sort of this cool dynamic because as you go forward in the show, both Kanan and Ezra are the two main characters. Even though Kanan does have Jedi training, he's not really a full Jedi, so he, and the fact that there are no other Jedis really left that he knows how to do, they kind of have to work together to help each other, train each other, and sort of learn the Force from a whole new perspective, kind of like how Luke has to in the original trilogy as well.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
I think it's going to be a really cool show, actually. So
that is pretty interesting because when Luke comes aboard, the whole thing, it's like he has a different way of how he does, the Force.
Yeah.
Different from that. So it's like it's another build-up story to that, which is I like that idea.
Well, and then the cool thing is that it's kind of like, well, what if Aladdin was a Jedi? And that's kind of cool. So.
Well, a question related to this. So, like, you're reading in all these cool things about the show. Do you think that you're sort of, reaching, or do you think that all these things are there on purpose for people to notice?
I think they're definitely there for people to notice. I mean, all you have to do is look at the fact that, like, Dave Filoni, he helmed the Clone Wars, right? So anybody who watched the Clone Wars, and I know that a lot of people were kind of put off by Clone Wars at first, myself included, with that movie that they put into theaters. That was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was. I remember seeing it. I enjoyed it, but
well, it wasn't a particularly good story from the show.
Yeah, it was more of like a animated short.
It could have been.
Will.
Yes.
Have you seen the incomplete videos for the Clone Wars they released at the Star Wars website?
No, I haven't seen those. I did see like the last like 8 episodes or whatever they released on Netflix as the
what happened to Clone Wars? Did you just stop it or did it end?
It hit.
They finished the arc, right?
When Disney bought. They had more to do with it.
Netflix. Oh.
Yeah, well, they had more to do with it. That wasn't what they had planned to finish with it, but at one point, because they were going on to I think the 6th or 7th season, and people were kind of like, well, there's only 2 years in between, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So how much can you really do? Right? And the thing is, they were getting close to it. But the cool thing is that the Clone Wars revolved more or less around Anakin and his Padawan Ahsoka. And in the end of Clone Wars, end of Clone Wars, Ahsoka was actually exiled from the Jedi Order, and she took off. Well, she wasn't exiled; she was going to be, and then she decided basically, and this is spoilers, obviously, but she basically decided that the Jedi Order was corrupt and was not really where it was supposed to be. So she was kind of sensing this whole future thing that was going to happen, right? So she took off to go do whatever, and Anakin couldn't follow after her, and nobody really knows what happened to her. Now when the Clone Wars was coming up, everybody was wondering what was going to happen to Ahsoka. They figured she was going to die because obviously she's not present in Episode 3 at all. So the idea now is that she took off is that if she like kind of would have probably avoided Order 66 and everything, and so the idea is because Rebels is run by Filoni and largely the same team. A lot of people are speculating, like, will she come back into it and all these things, and that would be pretty cool. So I absolutely think that everything being done in Rebels is done absolutely on purpose. Like the people, like Filoni and the team, like they are huge Star Wars fans, and all you have to do is see really anything from like season 2 onward of Clone Wars to know how much they are fans of Star Wars and how much they care about it. And it makes me excited. I was excited from day one for Rebels.
I heard somewhere that she gets like married or something, but that's just like
nothing's been officially released. That would
nothing's been
probably
like
fan fiction.
Probably.
But anyway,
got married with Anakin, and Anakin was happy and never killed anybody.
Yeah. Actually, so two things. First of all, to sort of answer the question, what happened to Clone Wars is so they were working on more of it, and when Disney acquired Star Wars, they basically put an end to the show, not because they didn't like the show, but because they wanted to start work on Rebels, because they wanted it to kind of start moving back into that direction to tie in with the new movies and everything.
When is that movie coming out? Do we know?
Next year.
Yeah, it's December of 2015.
Oh shit, that's not far at all.
Yeah, I know. I think like in a few months we're gonna start seeing teasers and shit for it.
We see a teaser and it's actually a new Austin Powers movie.
Oh gosh.
Well, I'm actually excited for that too. So speaking of Seth Green,
I'm very cautiously optimistic. I have to say.
Yeah, well, but you should check out Rebels, and even if you haven't seen Clone Wars, you should check out Clone Wars too. But if you haven't, you should check out Rebels because I think it's going to be a really awesome show. And I would like to see things like I'd like to see Vader show up, like just in an episode here. There's actually one cool thing about Clone Wars. Again, spoilers for anybody who doesn't know, but Darth Maul actually ended up coming back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a weird trip.
But it was actually pretty cool.
Will, would you say that Rebels is more oriented towards young adults or teens than Clone Wars, which, I mean, my brother was 8 and he watched it, so I'm guessing that was sort of kid-friendly? Would you say that Rebels is more growing up with the audience?
I would say, honestly, and a lot of people, because a lot of people have all these things about it, it's like, oh, now it's Disney and all this stuff. I think Clone Wars is aimed the same thing as the original movie, the same thing as the prequel, same thing as Rebels. Star Wars has always been for everybody. See, Star Wars is like Nintendo, right? Mario games are not. Mario games are, they're kid friendly, but they have never been designed solely aimed at children, right? Games like SpongeBob SquarePants and those kind of things, like the actual like child licensed games. Those and even SpongeBob, the show itself, isn't necessarily aimed entirely at children.
SpongeBob is fucked up.
Like well, just it's a Nickelodeon show, right? So
they have fire underwater.
Has like some fucked up moments in it.
But anyway, but the point is that
like weird shit, like the ones where they zoom in on people's faces. You see it's just like a weird
well, it's the same thing as all those things, right? Like, what about Adventure Time? Adventure Time is obviously a kid show, but it's not aimed solely at kids. I mean, more
apparently
adults,
it was written to be much darker.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? So that's where sorry. That's where I see Star Wars fall. Like Star Wars is like one of those things. It's like the Mario series, like all these things. It's always been designed to be aimed at adults and children alike. It's just an all-inclusive thing. So now Clone Wars obviously got quite dark in the end in like its later seasons. And I personally see Rebels being able to do the same thing because a lot of people think, oh, just because Disney has it, Disney will never go dark with anything. But Disney has gone. They have
Disney has some fucked up movies too.
And I mean, if you look at the original Mickey Mouse cartoons, if you look at the original Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 60s, or 50s and 60s, like Mickey is a sadistic fucking asshole.
I know.
Like
from Notre Dame. I'm just gonna kill her because I can't have her.
One thing I want to say about Disney, a lot of people always say, "Oh, they're not trying; they're just doing it for the kids." I want to bring up a little show called Gargoyles, where Disney actually tried for once. They actually tried for once, and it was good.
Well, the thing is,
2 seasons, and then they killed it horribly.
Well, when Disney took over Marvel, and then again when Disney took over Star Wars, you have all these people that are like, "Oh, they're gonna ruin the stuff," and every time Disney acquires something, I'm like. When Disney acquired Star Wars, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is awesome. This is good news. It means we'll actually get new Star Wars stuff. Disney has never fucked up a single franchise that they have acquired, in my opinion.
That's questionable, but
let's
Well,
leave that
not like a
discussion.
big one. I mean, like,
Only
but
the
I
ones
mean,
that started.
Not an
Okay.
important one.
but I mean, like
Um,
their track record is one of the best in the business. And if you look
Yeah,
at
look at
things
Guardians
like
of the Galaxy.
Pixar, you look at things like Pixar and all these other things that they've taken over. It's like, so yeah, and Marvel has done better than ever since Disney. And the thing is, Disney doesn't.
Yeah.
Disney is not Microsoft, where Microsoft takes over a studio, like Microsoft takes over Rare, and they get rid of everybody in Rare, or everybody in Rare
Yeah.
leaves, and then
Yeah,
there's still their
no,
Microsoft employees in.
yeah.
And the same thing now is going to happen with Mojang and all this stuff. And it's like Disney
Oh,
buys
yeah.
something, they put their marketing, they put their power behind it, they put their money behind it, they hire people to do the things that they do, right? Because Disney takes over, Clone Wars gets shut down, sad. But then they bring up Rebels, and they don't put their own Disney staff into it. They're like, Filioni, your
Yeah.
team, you guys did awesome on Clone Wars. You guys take Rebels.
Yeah, they know how to spot
So-
quality, like when someone's trying.
Right.
And just to close that not close it, but just another point. Like, yeah, well, let's have an agreement here. We'll watch. I'll at least try to watch Clone Wars and not Clone
Yes.
Wars, the Rebels.
So will I.
And
Yeah,
the new
so will
and the new Ninja Turtles. And you tried to watch Avatar.
I will try.
And
I will
play
try
The Last
very
of
hard
Us.
to work it into my schedule. Yeah, I want to play
If
the
you
last.
have Amazon Prime, all of Avatar is on Amazon Prime
Yeah.
in video.
Oh,
Pretty
And-
sure it's on
and-
Netflix too, isn't it, or some of it?
No, it's not.
I think it
used
used to
Maybe
be.
in Canada it might be though, because there's different.
maybe.
I have both
But,
feet.
but yeah, Avatar. The interesting thing about Avatar, and this is where I'll close the argument, like, talk about Avatar. But something I noticed, and I mentioned this to Julian, is like the age of how the characters are, and it's very particular to the age of the who's watching. Because when I started watching it, this was what 12 years ago. I think the show like started.
Avatar?
No,
Avatar
not 12,
started in like 2005.
2005. No, but they were the guys.
Oh my god, are you serious?
But yeah, like
2005 was
no,
still
that-
9 years ago.
no, yeah, 9 years ago, and
Yeah,
like 9
holy
years ago
shit.
we were 13. And how old was 9 years
You know
ago?
math?
9 years
20.
ago.
I'm 20.
That's
Wow.
not 13.
9 years ago.
Oh,
I was-
I'm
sorry,
14
no.
right
I was 19
Sorry, I'm
10
stupid.
years
I'm
ago.
stupid. Nah, sorry, I'm thinking of when I watched, and that was later on. But I
I
watched
was
it when I was
19
13.
in 2005. Damn.
Yeah, I watched it when I was 13. So,
I watched it when it was on, but I never finished it.
Yeah, so I
When-
watched
when,
it.
like, it
I
was
started watching
actually
it when I
on.
was 13. That was when I moved here. So when I originally moved here. So the thing about it is like it grew with the people that were watching
You
it.
mean into Korra?
Into Korra. It went into Korra, and then the characters also grew. I don't know. I feel like it's Aang 13, and then Korra's like 16, 17.
No, well, Aang is 12 in the
Ready?
original.
The original,
Sorry.
And then, like, by the end,
Korra
he's-
is 14, Sokka's 15, Toph is
Before-
12.
Before we continue, I just want to, because I think we might have a few viewers out there. If anybody who is listening, I want to hear what you guys think about Star Wars Rebels or Avatar or the
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, the new Ninja Turtles. Tweet us at Centric or myself at Will J Wood and let us know what you think about these shows. We'll read them on air because I'm curious what other people think as well.
I wonder.
Yeah,
like,
whenever someone's listening on Twitter or like on Twitter, listening us, then
Listening
just
on
you
Twitter.
can always jump into the conversation.
I'm opening the chat room right now, so if they can actually,
yeah.
do this.
One thing that I want to mention real quick, back to the topic of train wrecks for just a second. We'll mention Mojang.
Yeah, let's get back to train wrecks.
Before we
yeah.
jump down, I just want to say one thing real quick. One other Disney show that's kind of aimed at kids that I actually like, and I am not afraid to admit the fact that I'm watching Girl Meets World with my fiance because I'm such a Boy Meets World
Go
fan.
die.
And honestly,
that existed.
it's not that bad.
Didn't Girl Meets World start out really bad but get better? That's what I'm hearing.
It started out decently, and it's sort of gone up and down a little bit. But the thing is that Cory and Topanga kind of ground the show for the older viewers. So it's kind of I don't know. It's not bad. I like watching Cory. Cory is still Cory in it, which is really awesome. And then as
Is
we
it the
move
same actor?
forward, yeah. No, it's all the
Oh,
same
wow.
actors from the original show.
Holy
Like they're
shit.
doing cameo stuff. So actually, there's going to be a holiday episode coming up where where Will Friedle and who played
Will
Eric and Sean Hunter and
Don't worry about
all these people are going to come back into the show for people who watched it
That's
from
really
the
nice.
originals, and they're going to do all these cameo stuff. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, so I'm saying, like, people always say, roundabout. People always say like, oh, you know, kids today, their TV is crappy compared to my TV when I was a kid.
Kids today.
And it's like, you know what? I think that right now, I really believe that we are in another golden era for TV right now.
Yeah, you
And,
know what? I agree. Arrow,
and-
Gotham, Flash.
Yeah, I have been watching. And I'm not a big DC fan, but I have been watching Gotham, and
Do you like
and
it?
I do like it. It is
Yeah,
it is
we,
quite good.
we talked about it earlier. I actually do like it a lot too.
Oh
Anyway.
god. Yeah, we do. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things are like American Horror Story apparently is really good.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I actually need to watch more
I
of
have
that.
to bring, I have to bring myself to watch it. I'm not a big horror
And
guy.
what else?
I only seen the first season of that.
And Game of Thrones is doing well. Everybody's fucking hooked onto it.
Game of Thrones
um,
is okay. Like it's
True
not.
Detective
It's
is
pretty
now
good.
coming back soon, isn't it? Or is it in
Game of
production?
Thrones.
No,
Probably
True
not.
Detective.
Oh, True Detective is the next season's gonna start airing next summer.
Yeah.
I think they're
And
filming.
then
Actually,
there's
pretty
a lot of good things on the air right now. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Because it's becoming easier to make like film quality content, which is pretty good.
that's true.
You don't have to pay as much anymore for like giant CGI things. Is that good or
Yeah.
bad? That's not necessarily depends on the budget, but for Flash, I'm sure they have the budget for it, and it'll be interesting.
This ties back into the whole thing about doing more with less and how Red versus Blue I thought was better when they had like no budget and no CGI.
I mean,
Here's another interesting thing too that everybody always says, and nobody really ever talks about this, but everybody always says like, oh, you can't do anything original anymore because everything's already been done and every idea's already been had.
no.
Well, you know what?
That's not true.
That's not true.
There's always new stuff, and you know what? Yeah, you're gonna have recurring themes and stuff like that, but there's like a limitless amount of new things that you can always do.
Avatar. I was just saying that like Avatar is a completely new IP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Avatar is
no.
one of the most original shows that's come out in the past 10 years.
I think so. I actually agree with that because
And
I mean, everything takes influence from like other things.
like Asian.
Like everything in
Everything
Avatar
else.
is influenced from like something like from like Eastern Asian cultures and stuff like that. But it's all like put together really well. And that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is like that. Everything is influenced from other things. It just puts it
Yes.
into like it's like a melting pot of all these different things.
like
Hitler.
So you could say it's not
I remember-
original, but it really is. Or like
I,
stuff like
I remember when I was younger. When I was younger, I valued originality a lot, and for a couple of years now, probably since like sophomore, junior in high school, I've really gone back on that. I think that originality is almost insignificant. What's important is how well you put your things together, right?
Yeah, I feel like
one of
if it's original, it should be cool. But if it's original and well written or well like put together, then it's way better.
Yeah, like one of the best
Yeah.
horror movies in the past few years is The Conjuring, and it doesn't really do anything new with like the haunted
But it
house.
does it so
genre.
well, right? Right.
Yeah, it just does
well.
everything like perfectly, and that's why it's good. So yeah, I agree. Like, the better you do something, like the
Yeah, you want an equal mix of originality and innovation.
yeah.
No, I think that well, wait, you said originality and innovation. Those are like
Star
same
Citizen
thing,
is
right?
brand new. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna even bring that up.
Destiny.
Destiny, not necessarily.
Destiny-
but it's
Destiny's
really
the
good and
definition.
well made.
It's a definition of a game that's derivative, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
People, okay,
Well,
you know
even
what,
now
I'm
they're
pretty
starting
sure-
to update it, and it's starting to become a new thing. I think.
That's not.
Yeah, I've personally enjoyed it much more in the past couple of days and weeks than
I
right
have to
after
admit,
launch.
I haven't played it since about a week after it came out when I hit level 20, and I haven't. But that's not because I don't like it, because I've been playing so many other things. But
Yeah, me too. I haven't played it in a little while.
Yeah,
and,
I can't wait.
all my friends that I was playing with, like every single one of them is like now like level 27 or higher, and I'm still sitting at
Nice.
20,
I was
and I'm
gonna
like,
continue playing it, but then Alien Isolation came out, and we had a whole rant. You missed it, Will. We had a whole talk about how awesome Alien Isolation is.
Yeah,
well,
we were
I'm
talking
aware
about
of how
that.
awesome it is. It's a game I'm gonna pick, but it's one of those ones I'm gonna pick up when it's cheaper. But
You
Yeah.
should definitely
Well,
get it. It's really good.
since you were here in the beginning, did you ever play the Batman Arkham games? Because Arkham Asylum came out for free.
Oh,
on PS
yeah,
Plus,
no,
and
I
I've been
love-
playing that. Yeah, I've been
I
playing
know it
that.
came out. I wrote an article about it. Yay!
Oh,
You did?
my mistake. I've been busy with college. But
Alex hasn't been putting up your articles. I have.
It was put up, but it wasn't put into the feed.
Was
Uh,
it?
Was it?
but this
I
game,
don't think so. But
Arkham
anyway.
Asylum, is
Aaron, you need
actually
to let
better than I
We'll
remember.
be able to access it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Because
no.
I've been doing all of my stuff. I've been putting all my stuff in the feed.
Yeah,
myself.
I've been.
It's really easy.
I know you. Well, you gotta give me permission to stuff.
My job has no
Yeah.
point.
Speaking of which, what am I getting paid for September? But anyway,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Aaron.
Where's my-
we'll leave that out of the
It's all
podcast.
just ganged up on Aaron right now.
No.
But anyway,
I'm
but no, the Arkham series is great. And see, like I'm definitely like I'm not a comics fan. I don't really read comics. I don't have anything against comics. I don't have really time, and it's like I have so many other mediums that I do. But I know a lot about comics because I have a lot of friends who read comics, and I actually will. There's a lot of like superheroes and stuff that I'm super interested in. I actually go onto like Wikipedia and stuff and read a lot of the stuff that happens in comics and everything. But,
Yes, fucking DC Wiki. Oh, I've lost so many hours.
so I'm not a huge DC fan. I'm a much bigger Marvel fan. But
we talked about this already.
yeah, I know, and I said
I'm the only person who hates DC.
but I believe my favorite villain from any comic universe is the Joker, and I do
Yes.
like Batman, but I only like certain incarnations of Batman. Unlike where I pretty much like every incarnation of Spider-Man, there are only certain incarnations of Batman I like. I do not like the Nolan trilogy. Really, I don't.
Speaking of incarnations, I have a quick question for you guys. If you want to get a little off topic, do you mind when a series undergoes a reboot and the main character is vastly different? Like I'm pretty sure there was a Spider-Man with a black Spider-Man. There's like a female Thor. Are you guys fine with that? It pisses me off. I can't fucking stand it.
I think
I
it's
can't
fine.
stand it.
I think because the thing is that like it happens so often in that medium that you just because one thing happens doesn't take away from another thing that's already happened. If you're a fan of one particular incarnation and another one comes up as like an alternate thing, and comics are all about alternate universes and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from what you like. And this is actually an interesting question because this week, I don't know if you guys are aware, but they basically confirmed and announced that they are going to be rebooting Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With women, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like this is an actual thing, and it's not going to tie into the original movies. It's going to be like a complete
It's gonna be like
reboot
a
of the thing.
side story.
And a lot of people are upset about it.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, a lot of people are upset about it and saying like it ruins all this stuff. But that's my thing. It's like, you know what? Just because they reboot it and they make a new Ghostbusters and it's this new thing, it doesn't take away the fact that the other Ghostbusters already exist. You can still be a fan of the original and you can let the new stuff exist. It can all exist together. It doesn't take away from anything because it's not like they're stopping like the continuation of the original series because the original series hasn't done anything since the 80s.
It's done, right? It's
What they're pretty much saying is like they explored this idea in the video games and said like, oh, there's other Ghostbusters out there. After the original started doing it, other people saw them doing it, and then they started doing it too, and other stuff.
But if you're
So
gonna
that's what
reboot
they're probably gonna explore.
right, well, but if you're gonna reboot it, I think this actually makes more sense if you're gonna do it because the whole thing about like Ghostbusters is that these were these guys who found something that existed. You know what? Ghosts exist. They're wreaking havoc on shit. Nobody believes in this stuff. Somebody's got to do something about it. So we have to do this. And but the thing is, if you look like 20 years later, like I'm not necessarily thrilled about a universe where everybody widely knows ghosts exist. It's not a big deal, and everybody just opens up their own branch in like their own hometown. I think it makes a lot more sense.
I don't think it was. I think it was more like in the spur of the moment rather than like.
I think it makes a lot more. Yeah, but I think it makes more sense to do a reboot. It's like let's just do this thing over again, and we change the origin slightly.
Sorry.
I don't think it like Reitman isn't going to be directing it or anything, but I think it's like Dan Aykroyd obviously has ownership.
The guy
over
did
the,
Bridesmaids.
Paul, it's the person who made Bridesmaids directing.
and it's most likely most of the actresses in Bridesmaids are going to be the Ghostbusters, but but that's the thing, and the original is always a comedy as well, and the thing is like I'm excited to see it. I think that'll be really cool, and you know what, maybe they'll have Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd pop in for a cameo, like not necessarily as their character, but just have the actor in it and do whatever, and that would
they'll
be
pull a Star Trek.
But like the thing is.
Star Trek, yeah.
The thing is, like, I think that makes more sense, and I'm excited because it's like, you know what? let's do this. Like that was the original Ghostbusters is what we did with 80s technology. What would happen if something like that started up today? We would have much more awesome technology. Maybe you know people will be using their iPhones to like use a ghost tracker app or some shit. Like
How
you
to
know,
catch
like
ghosts. First, download the Catch Ghost app.
okay, but think about this. Like there's all these things that they can explore, and it makes sense going this route. And it doesn't
Yeah.
take away from the original, but there's all these things you can explore. Because what if the original Ghostbusters, when they started their whole thing, what if they had social media around that? Like what would happen there? Like
you
know
know
what,
what?
like, there's-
You have such an excellent point.
Hashtag caught a ghost.
but there's all yeah.
Ghosting.
Yeah, you can just see all these tweets like, being attacked by a ghost in my apartment again, hashtag first world problems.
Hashtag scoop. Two scoops
like-
from... Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, like there's just all these things that you can explore, and it's cool. And the people who do these movies, and you know, like, because these are like, and you know, they're all sort of different people, but it's all the same sort of vein of like, you know, the modern rom-coms and stuff like that, that are all done by like Judd Apatow and all that kind of stuff, and all these sort of same Saturday Night Live actors and stuff. And that's really what the original Ghostbusters was back in the day too. So it really feels at home. Like this is like the natural evolution of it. So, but it doesn't. But if you don't like it,
hate on it.
if you don't like it, it's not like because this
The
is what I don't
original's
get. This
dead.
is what I don't get. People are acting like, oh, not only are we rebooting Ghostbusters, but we're gonna bust into your homes. We're gonna take your DVDs and Blu-rays of the original. We're gonna snap them on you so you can't watch them anymore. We're gonna pull down your posters. We're gonna take all your Ecto One toys. We're gonna destroy all this stuff, and we're just gonna make it like it never existed. Like that, people act like that's what they're doing to you, and it's like they're not, and it's crazy. It's foolish.
You know, there's one reboot that I do have a problem with, and that's the Thor as a woman reboot, because that's just like there's no reason to do that. Like, why you just
Doesn't matter.
shoehorning just
The only
shoehorning
reason-
a female character into the most male role
I think
ever.
the only problem with it is the name, but
I don't
that's
see
what
why all these why they're doing that stuff, like turning Spider-Man black or
Yeah, well,
turning.
why? It's fucking affirmative
Because
action.
Why,
dark
why
comics.
not just create a new superhero that is
Well-
black, or a new superhero that is Muslim, or a new superhero that's a woman? Why change?
Well,
I'm not,
most of them
I'm
aren't.
not saying the
This is a
change
new
is bad.
this is a new Spider-Man, because Spider-Man in this line he dies basically, and this is a new Spider-Man.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's not like it
That's
just you didn't
fine,
just
I like
make
him
him
dead.
black. You can't do that, Julian. You can't just make someone black. No,
I don't know. I'm okay
No,
with it.
Michael
I think
Jackson, Michael Jackson disagrees.
it's kind of cool because you can take this established
Yeah.
canon and you can say, but what would happen if it was different? That's why I like alternate universes.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things I really like about Doctor Who is because it's like we can take this same character and the same sort of general myth and everything, or the lore around it, but every so often we change it up, and then they actually found a way to make it all canonical together. It's the same person, so it's not alternate universes, just alternate of the Doctor, and I think that's cool. It's like, so you get used to one Doctor and you're sad when he goes, but you're like, now we get to explore a new one and see what's different about this one, and so that's the same thing with alternate universes. It's like, so what would happen if Spider-Man was a black guy, or if Spider-Man was a woman, or if Thor was a woman? And the thing is that
I don't think in case of Spider-Man it really matters that he's
Yeah.
a black guy because he's in a suit.
Well, maybe he can jump higher now.
But the other thing too is that all these things that happen, all these alternate universes and comics, they never take away from the core of what the character is. You're always still going to have that. You're always going to have even if they have all these alternate Spider-Man and all these, which they always have. They've and even in the '90s cartoon, they had all the different alternate universe ones come together, like Man Spider and all that kind of stuff, and all this stuff. But you will always have Peter Parker. You will always have the Peter Parker Spider-Man that people know. He's never going to be gone. So it's cool just to have these alternate things you can look at.
You would always
as well.
have Tobey Maguire. You would always have Tobey Maguire to go back.
And you'll always be sorry you did. I don't know. I don't want my character to be changed for the purpose of affirmative action. I don't want Thor to be a woman because of some politically correct bullshit like that. I think that's what they're doing.
if they
They're
want
not, but they're not taking Thor and saying Thor is now a woman and that's the way Thor is forever. They're just, this is an alternate look at something. They didn't take the main line of Thor and just turn it into a woman, did they?
I think
no,
I'm not sure actually, but I think it's something along those lines where it's like it's now Thor is just a woman in that universe. It's
Like,
I'm not really sure.
I just think it'd be cooler if they
Thor's
just
not a
made
woman.
new characters that are.
Yeah, because in Young, I don't know if you guys know, but there was a movie called Young Avengers where Thor's daughter is in there, and she has a sword instead of a hammer. And I feel like, just why don't you just extend to Young
do
Avengers?
that.
Have her,
What?
yeah, have her character. And she was a really nice character too.
Thor is the main character and half the music I listen to. God damn it! I want him
Okay.
to.
I'm sorry, I do have to go. I actually have to go like right away. I have
Alright.
somewhere I have to be. But this is fun. I'm glad I came in for the last half of this. So,
Good.
good conversation this week.
Yeah.
Alright,
Really good.
thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, sorry I have to abruptly cut out like that, but anyway, I'm
It's
sure
all
you guys
good.
will be wrapping up soon anyway. But
We
thanks
should
for-
wrap up like 30 minutes ago, but the conversation was so heated.
yeah, well, thanks for having me again. Thanks for letting me be a part of the awesome conversation. And again, next week I'm gonna be at the Vancouver Halloween Expo here in Vancouver. So if I get a chance, I'll try and pop in via the convention. I can't guarantee that, but either way, I'll probably I don't know. I might do a write-up on it or something. Oh, that's one other thing I was going to mention real quick. I still am going to do an article about Anakin at some point on the site and why his fall to the dark side, even in the movies, actually makes sense. And there's all this hidden stuff that people don't really see. But anyway. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go. Have a good. And when none of you are Canadian, but happy Thanksgiving. Because it's the Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. So
Thank you for giving us your time, sir.
always. All right. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
That's it.
I love how I wave to the camera.
What a fat fuck.
It was nice that you come in because that actually spurred the conversation even more.
Yeah.
No, today we had a good
Talked
conversation.
about Star Wars too much.
Nah,
Guys, train wrecks, Mojang, go.
Wait, really fast though. Just letting people listeners know that we're gonna be at a game days and at Kamikaze.
Well, we're not going to be. We're going to be at the first day of Kamikaze.
And the first day of game.
Yeah, just the panels of game day. So there's not really any point in saying that. But we will be talking about.
We should
game days or
record some
something.
stuff there too. But
I mean, we'll
Yeah,
have a
Sunny
podcast
Meeku
after.
Con has been going on.
What?
Miku Con has been going on the past few days. Dude, it's Hatsune Miku. She network debuted on David Letterman.
I don't care. Fuck David Letterman.
I know. I can't wait for Stephen Colbert to take his place. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never found him funny.
David Letterman's good at talking, like interviewing people, but he's not good at being funny.
I don't know. I watched that's the first time I
It's
watched
so
David
bad.
Letterman since I've moved to the U.S.
He's so fucking boring.
And he's gotten old. He's gotten very old.
Yeah.
Like he
Well,
loses stuff, he forgets stuff. He doesn't remember really a lot of the stuff that he's talking to the person with. He doesn't connect to them because he's not as on their same age level. So
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But there was a weird he was having a weird conversation about shit.
About shit.
About shit. About fucking shit. He had this guy from CNN. He had this guy from CNN. He was interviewing a guy from CNN. It's like one of the Anderson Cooper. And his mom, I guess, got around when she was young. So there was pictures of her dating Frank Sinatra or something. But yeah, basically they just talked about him basically just talked about for 15 minutes. They talked about all of Anderson Cooper's mom's hookups. So I was like, what the fuck is this?
The fuck?
But yeah,
Why would you talk about
promotion
that?
being sold to Microsoft. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I don't give a fuck.
I
I never gave a fuck about Minecraft. I don't care.
And so the thing is, it's been so Minecraft has not really seen major developments in such a long time.
In what, 2 years now? 3?
Yes. So Minecraft, it being taken, and also the community is smaller now. So it being taken by Microsoft.
Did they even do a second Minecon?
Hmm?
A Minecon?
They did more
They-
Minecons.
They did
but,
2 or 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I did like 3 of them, and it's too expensive to go as well. It's like too hard to like.
Yeah, it's like why would you go, right?
But like I don't know. It's like I don't see the development continuing in that game to really like you know with QuakeCon or like Doom. It's Quake Engine because they're like it's continuing because they're doing more stuff in the Quake Engine. And with the new Doom I think coming out, it's gonna be interesting. But like Minecraft, like Minecraft and all the people that are doing stuff around Minecraft, and then just shit,
Well, if
you know,
they do anything smart with
like, you can only
Minecraft, it'll
talk
be
about
free and then hand it out with each new console.
yeah, you cannot. There's no really anything to say about Minecraft anymore that hasn't been said. And like having a convention and a whole company that's basically just working on its development, kind of lost its point. Like, it was gonna be interesting when Mojang was gonna make more games,
But
but
they
they
went
stopped
nowhere.
all their side projects.
I
All those side projects died because they focused on
Yeah.
Minecraft. And
I
it's
have
like,
to
yeah,
say-
it's your moneymaker, but
yeah I have to say I think Notch got out at like the last possible moment when he still could have made money.
yeah.
I think
I feel
it
like
was
it
pretty
would've
close to
gone
just
any
being
later.
done.
I think he could have gotten more money though. I feel like he could have gotten way more money earlier on though. Like a year ago, he could have gotten a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, actually, I disagree because
$2 billion
uh,
is set for life.
the reason I disagree is because Minecraft's main value is from merchandising. So the merchandising has been picking up lately. So he actually got out like at the exact right time, I think. Anyway.
That last part cut out. What'd you say?
Oh, I said
Alex?
that. Yeah, me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said that. I said that since the merchandising just picked up recently, he probably made the most money right now as opposed to a couple years ago when there was no merchandise.
I feel like even that kind of died down because I remember we sold a lot more stuff at GameStop. I don't know. I think it's just a good point.
Well, yeah, but that's GameStop. There's like other
Yeah,
stuff
I don't
now,
wanna-
like Toys R Us and shit.
Build your own creeper.
I feel like we should
Yeah, it's
Build
like
your own
2 blocks.
create your own creeper. God. All right, so I feel like we should close. We're running at the 2 hours, and I'm getting hungry. I'm getting like really hungry. Anything you want to say, Joe? Anything you want to say?
Well,
Think of
everyone needs a chia
I'll
creeper.
still be.
I want a creeper.
I guess. I feel like.
Grow it,
Will
then
and I
blow it.
Right now are the only people posting stuff on the site.
Yeah, I'm working on getting more creeper.
I'm trying to post something for every day in October so far.
Alex, are
I'm
you
dead.
busy?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Okay, can you fix the site? Can you fix it for me?
What happened?
No, it's like getting all the posts in order because the order is kind of like out of order. So
On the feed?
yeah, because we didn't post I forgot to post Will stuff when I posted his
Okay, we'll handle this after we finish recording.
yeah. So
Yeah.
let's deal with that. Joe, anything you want to say?
Well, no.
And that about wraps it up.
I feel like that's a good. Yeah, I think that's a good point to like kind of close it off on. We had a good discussion today. I'm really happy with today's episode.
I can't think of anything else to say right now, so I think we're done.
What's on you, huh?
What's happening next week?
Well, next week the new Borderlands comes out.
Yeah. I guess
Oh,
I'm
really? That's next week?
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure,
yeah, the 14th.
well, I'm sure everybody else will have things to say then.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
And then a few. I think I'm gonna go see Gone Girl, so we can talk about that too.
Oh yeah, I already saw that. But if Alex and Joe can go see Gone Girl like before next podcast, like we could all talk about it.
Yeah, it should be a good.
It's
I
really good.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll go see it.
I think it's my
fucking care.
favorite movie of the year.
And me and Alex
Favorite
are gonna
movie of the
go-
year. Guardians is really good, and Lego Movie was really good, but Gone Girl was like my favorite of the year so far. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And go into it knowing as little as possible. Like,
I
know.
yeah, I know nothing. Have you? Are you guys looking forward to Fury?
Yeah, I'll go watch it with you. I'm definitely.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm like,
All right, awesome.
you guys could see it.
Let's end it. Let's end the cast.
I haven't even.
Yeah, let's organize it after. So thanks everybody for coming to watch. Thanks
Very
everybody
much.
that, you know, kind of.
I love you.
I love me too.
No, I love everyone else, not you.
Alright, so thanks everybody. Love you guys. Later.
And then Joe killed.